And we are back here once again with another episode of the Iron Man podcast, episode 534. It's going to be another rendition of Tuesday's Big Showdown. And if you guys are new viewers or returning viewers and you have not subscribed to the channel yet,
shame on
you. I want you to do one thing right now. Literally, look at your phone, scroll up, see where it says subscribe, and hit the subscribe button if you have not done that already. You know, we're almost to 1,000 subs, so thank you guys for your continued support. And make sure you guys leave a like on this episode of the Iron Man podcast if you enjoyed it. Comment down below, hit notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And make sure to follow everyone on the panel on social media, whether they have a YouTube channel or a Twitter or an Instagram or whatever they have. Make sure you guys follow all that. There's no topics tonight, really, because the topic wouldn't have been, well, it'd be better for a video later on, like later on in the week. But tonight, I wanted to use the main person for a topic into a much more broader level of many different things, actually.
You can't say broad anymore. It's 2024.
Oh, yeah. So fucking bimbo, you know? And you guys might be seeing me wearing these. So my other sunglasses are over there, but, you know, Fear the Bureau wore these in Vegas, and I was like, those are really cool. And then I saw them again at an AMPN when I fell asleep on the bus going to another town by accident. I was like, oh, those are kind of cool. I'm gonna wear those. And then they had them at a gas station yesterday, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna look just fucking fresh and with Riz. Honestly,
he's his alter ego, Mr. Respect or Mr. Disrespect, not Doctor. He didn't get his doctor.
God, Mr. Riz Master, actually. Well, now we'll talk to Gray. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
Doing fantabulous. Just happy to be here, and you know, I hope your the bottom innings are good for you, man. I hope you know, now that the sun's down, you know, you're not gonna miss the ball so much. But happy to be here.
That's awesome, man. You've been making any content recently? I know you've been taking a break for a little bit because your computer stuff, right?
Yeah, sure. Computer stuff. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a couple of videos. Just, you know, everybody seemed to be super prudish and saying that like Star Wars got too sexy. So I wanted to look into that, and then I just came across this other argument that I went down a weird rabbit hole researching. So got a couple of videos on the Acolyte that are coming out real soon. But yeah, okay. Other than that, not too much, man. Just kind of chilling.
Yeah. All right, man. That's awesome. What's up, Nate? How you doing, man? Says, hey guys, hope everyone is doing good. Leaving work now. Okay, awesome, man. Hope you had a good day at work. Why is MSK wearing sunglasses? Because I'm gonna start looking like a MSK Riz Master. Call me the MSK Zenator. No, that's terrible. No, I don't think that rolls off the tongue very well.
It sounds weird.
you could basically just call me the Black King. That would be very bad, honestly. I honestly feel like I'm in a different world when I'm wearing these. It feels like I can just talk to a lot of hot women, you know, run around butt naked, you know, start slinging my meat
before.
You know, just, yeah, I was a complete man, God, just stud man, running around just talking to women, just having a whole bunch of fun. But no, you know, we got a great past, you know, great couple of days in the channel. Subs are going up very slowly, but at least they're growing up. I've been trying to get content edited and done for you guys. It's just a lot. Like literally today, one of my few days off. My days off are split now. I got to go back to work tomorrow very early. So I wake up, listen to a podcast, put it on my second monitor, and then I, you know, put the video editor up, start clipping out the part of the, you know, episode where we did the video, put that in, make sure the right intro and outro is on there. It renders, and when it's done, log into whatever account that I put the video on, upload the video, then you have to put the title, tags, thumbnail, end screen. Then after that, you do the thumbnail. It's just so much stuff. Like, it's just a lot. I love it. And I'm going to get into a process where I'm able to do it way faster, but it's just a lot. It's fine. You know, it's okay. You know, and Darnell's here. We just talked about the WNBA and that pile of stinking dog shit, you know, and they want to expand more teams in their failed product.
I told you, man, that just may be just what they need. Get into a market they're not already in that people want to see sports.
True. You know, Or it could be just basically, hey, we're throwing money down the drain and we just throwing money into a pit. Money, fire pit. Money, fire pit. Tiny Seer, she was hitting me up in DMs earlier. She was like, MSK, oh my God, I need you. I can't wait to talk to you on the show. Your wrist. Your wrist gets me off so much. It turns me on so much.
But I'm going to stay muted while there's a background noise.
Oh gosh. Well, Tiny's here. She has her mic muted because her mom is talking, and obviously that would be kind of hard to process what she's saying. But it's fine because Tiny's here to give me all love and food tonight, actually. But I will be out there where she lives on the 24th next week for the FNT meetup that Gabe El Taib is doing, actually. So I'll be out there rizzing up the hot ladies. That's what I do. All right. So I need to talk to Gray about this. Gray, what did you think about the whole crazy, not historical thing that happened this past weekend? Not crazy at all. Regular Saturday for most people, right? What'd you think?
Well, it's interesting. It's predicted by a bunch of people. It didn't seem out of the realm of possibility. So it does seem a little fishy that it seemed that easy for that to happen. But I don't know, man. I think everybody involved is lucky, aside from one very unfortunate, what would you call that? Rally goer. That sucks, man. Especially the fact that the dude seemed to be so into actually helping others.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, man. It was really weird. I went for a walk with my dad like the day before, and for no reason, like 5 different times, he was telling me like, somebody's gonna shoot him, and it was just weird. So I totally thought that was fake when I heard it, and it's like, no way, no way.
Your FBI agent just heard that, and they wanted to why how your dad knew that.
Go find Big Daddy Poupe. Apparently, he knows what's going on next. What about you, MSK? What are your thoughts on this non-historic event that is everyday occurrence?
Sounds pretty like a setup. And by English, I meant that I would love to have sex with Don Lemon. Okay, I'm joking. I have to entertain you guys, obviously. What? So sounds to me like a setup on some levels, because there was a few. So it wasn't just that one video that I had shared in the group. It was the other video that had come out. People saying the same thing. Witnesses telling cops there's a guy climbing up on this roof with a gun. And they just basically turn a blind eye. It's like that shit you see in a movie where, a character knows something's going to happen, and the character's like already paid off by the villain, and he gives that like the little smile and that wink nod, like, you can go in here, you have a gun kind of thing. Either the police didn't like Trump and let it happen, very possible, given he's a controversial figure, or they were paid off to let it happen.
Well, supposedly they pulled his usual detail. The head of the Secret Service pulled his usual detail and gave him like a different one, supposedly. And the head is a friend of Joe Biden. The woman is the head. Supposedly she's a good friend of Joe Biden.
Which is why she made sure that his wife had all the security she could possibly need, but not former President Trump. But I'm sorry, even with a smaller team, even with an obviously very badly trained team, I'm sorry, how do you get onto protection detail at all, let alone one of the Eagle detection details, and be as incompetent as so many of they were? I've got no clue. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, the forward operating group targeted that specific roof and said, in the future, this is a line of sight. This needs to be covered. It was in the plans to be covered. It was supposed to be covered.
In their defense, though, it is a sloped roof, so
no, there's no defense.
That's a sniper's paradise, man.
Especially when
I'm sorry, why was Overwatch for him above his head instead of looking down on what was going on?
Especially when people are saying, "Hey, cops, people that are supposed to be in charge of protecting you. There's a guy with a gun." I'm pretty sure there's no better descriptive way of saying something.
Even if nobody else did anything else, this sniper the sniper who did finally take him out asked for a request to take him out 3 minutes earlier. He had him in his sights for 3 minutes before anything was shot, and they would not give him permission to fire. Now, the fact that he wasn't on his own recognizance at that point is insane.
wasn't the guy the building the guy was on? Wasn't that where they were headquartered at too?
Yeah, it was the temp headquarters
I was
apparently.
going to say
for
that.
the,
Yeah, they had a
police.
bunch of brass underneath him in the building. Like, what the hell?
And I'm
The only
sorry.
thing I can think is like they
Trump is
somehow
overseeing-
fucked it
Look,
up.
Why were there?
'Cause shouldn't there be like a direct line of communication between everybody? It just the only thing I can think is like if you're reporting it to the police, maybe they didn't have that direct line set up, so it takes a minute. But goddamn, that it seems like it took way too long.
There's a common phrase
Doesn't make sense.
said amongst shared amongst cops that you can outrun me, but you cannot outrun my radio because that's instant. So yeah,
Fair enough.
There should to back your point up. There should have been no lag in communication. Should have been instant to everybody.
And I'm sorry, Trump is over 6 feet tall. Why were there 3 different members of his fucking detail that were females, barely over 5'5"? They cannot block his body. That's not possible. It's insane.
I mean, the one looked pretty burly.
Over with Jill, and the men that were with Jill with him, who were the men who were supposed to be with him.
Oh, speaking of Secret Service, as you brought the women up, because this is stuff that I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't look into before, and I should have, and I'll definitely do a better job of in the future. Apparently, the Secret Service, the part that hires the people to be a part of it, they actually want more women on it in about a 30% increase by 2031.
No, they want it to be 30% of the service. 30% of the service.
Yeah.
By
service
2030, right? Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Including as many in the field.
Yeah, that's
Which
bad.
is
It's horrible.
it's a stupid arbitrary fucking number. A.
Well,
B.
and
The
then-
whole reason that Miss PepsiCo was brought in was to make this happen. And C, they lowered all of the standards for the women. So none of those women are actual Secret Service agents. And every single one of them has fucking embarrassed this country and embarrassed every woman who ever fucking actually did their job.
Well, and then there's the one who couldn't put her fucking gun back in her holster.
Yep.
I saw that.
I've experienced
You're
people like that at trainings, and they were pulled from their positions and put into like corrections where they didn't have a gun. They had to earn their spot back when they couldn't do that, and that's for trainings. So if you're gonna fuck up in a training, you're gonna fuck up in real life. So real quick, Walter asked the question. I tried answering you, Walter, but for some reason my typing isn't. It keeps saying it's failed to post.
It's fine.
If somebody told me there was a guy with a gun, order protocol, approach, figure out his shit, and neutralize him if needed. You can.
They even told me that in training. When someone's telling you something that serious, you have to take that seriously. There is no like
word for it to start as your PC to approach the person.
Mm-hmm.
Once they tell it to me, it's my PC. I approach him. Now I need it. Now I need to see. I'm going to lay my eyes on it. Depending on his actions, he may be trying to hide. Maybe trying not want to show me his shit. If he starts, refusing, my hand's going straight to my gun, and I'm ready. I'm ready. You want to do this? Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like the stuff being told to me how it went down does not make any sense to me at all.
It's very bad because the reason why I brought up the Secret Service thing is I'm not saying women can't be in law enforcement. It's not what I'm saying. But when you have, because most people criticize women in that kind of field because of what we just saw. What we just saw is the reason why. And then people are going to be like, well, what men? No, I'm not talking about men. I'm talking specifically women when this happens, okay? Most people would say, aren't they going to cower in fear? Aren't they going to blah, 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 do X, Y, and Z? Well, yeah, we just saw what would happen. That's why they don't typically see women on enforcements like that, okay?
Just in my experiences, I have been part of of organizations that at least 2 women have shot themselves by accident at trainings, like in the leg when they're pulling their gun out to shoot at the range. One man, but just my experiences. 2 shot. I almost got shot when I almost got killed in the academy because the woman next to me would shoot, miss, and I'm to her left, and she'd go, "Damn it!" Finger on the trigger, aiming the gun, and be pissed off.
Oh my God!
I jump off the line. I get yelled at. She just flashed me with her gun. They chew her out. We pick our guns up, go back, shoot again. She'd missed again. Damn it! Aimed at. She did it 3 times. To me, like 3 times back to back to back. They finally kicked her out. I said, "You got to get the fuck out of here." You come back next academy, you're out of here.
Yeah, we even saw it when all the guys that were on the team or people that were around, they covered for him. One of the ladies literally in the picture is cowering. Now, you understand when you're in that. They even taught me this. When you're in that kind of situation, people are going to react differently. Understandable, right? Usually, when there's a shooter, you don't know if another person is going to shoot. You know, the more bullets going to come, so it makes sense to get in that position. But
the Secret Service,
not if your job is to put your body between those bullets and your target.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
No.
Her job is to basically
he shot the bullet, and then he also went down before anyone. Those Secret Service, that first freaking one that went by, the Secret Service should have been dropping on his ass. He should not have dropped his own ass down there. Hey, he coming up. They never should have allowed him to do the fist bump that everyone loves so much. And you could tell that some of them were trying to not let him do it, but the other people were not strong enough to help them. And I'm sorry, they're cowering down. They're taking off their sunglasses. They're messing with their hair. They're putting the sunglasses back on. Can't put their gun in the holster. Don't know which way to go. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're supposed to go through training. You're supposed to go through serious adrenaline-inducing training so that when this happens, you don't act like a fucking idiot and embarrass everyone. Because I'm sorry. I don't care what else those women have done with their lives. As of the moment, they're an embarrassment. A damn embarrassment.
Now, while we got her riled up, let's talk about Henry Cavill for a minute.
Oh God! and then if she does that, I'm gonna take her out on a date and give her some In-N-Out, and then she'll be good. Then she'll be a good girl for the night. She's paying for it.
MSK, when she was screaming like that, you're an embarrassment. Did it give you flashbacks?
Well, because that's what she had said is what because people say, well, she doesn't know if there's more gunfight. It doesn't matter. Your job is to shield that person. Yes, both things are true. Yeah, you don't know, and you have to defend yourself. That's understandable. But that specific job, you have to defend that person. You have to literally throw yourself in a line of fire to defend that person. She did not. And guess what happened? All the men did. All the guys on the team did.
In defense, it was confirmed that, like, over the radio, it did come over like the shooter is down or whatever. You don't know that there's not a second one or something like that, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's why they let him up, and obviously it led to like the most iconic photo of this year. But yeah, I don't know. I would not be comfortable with letting him do that.
Notice how those girls weren't with him for the RNC. All the girls that were there, not all dudes. Gee, I wonder why. Man,
his official detail was given back to him, which is insane that it wasn't with him at that event.
Shitty world we live in. Yeah, this place sucks, man. I love America. I really do. I love living here. But it's like, damn, America. Do people not just make the most dumbest effing decisions ever? It's like in businesses' attempt and pursuit of equality, like that in and of itself de-rationalizes reasons that you didn't have it in the first place. Those aren't just like prejudices or anything. There's reasons why like men do certain things. There's reason why women do certain things. There's a reason why both can do certain things. I'm just saying, like, that reason is why you don't put women in those spots. I'm sorry. That's just why you don't.
No, that's why you don't put women who have not been trained or proven themselves in those spots. If a female passes all of the same qualifications as a male and she can do the same job and she can cover the same bitch, then she has every right to do it. But when you change the qualifications, when you change it all so that you can get numbers of women in there, those women don't belong and don't deserve it. And they make it much harder for everyone who actually does want to do it and could do it.
Amen.
Gray, you're a bouncing butt.
It's a Rorschach test. It could be a butt.
It could be.
My mom said I should say it this way: a 6-foot Kansas farm girl who neuters bulls for fun and has military experience can do the job.
She'll probably beat me up too. Honestly.
If that job is make MSK interested.
I got an issue with that only about the height thing. I'm only 5'6", and I was refused jobs. Refused because I wasn't tall. I wasn't 6 foot tall. I can guarantee you, I'm capable of doing a job I was not allowed to. I was not hired for. Yeah. My height.
Okay, but how tall are you in heels?
Oh my god.
Well, I'm usually 5'9" because I like the high ones. I got to get up there. No, but seriously though, I hate that height. I'm not like talking shit about you, Tony, but I just hate that height bullshit because I'm only 5'6". I'm capable of fat as fuck as just doing the job.
You're 5'6", but you are still wider than those women who were like 5'3",
Hey!
5'4".
Hey,
I'm
Shoulders.
sensitive
You
about
have
my
nice,
size.
strong, wide shoulders, jackass.
I'm not fucking with you.
You're wider, and even if you couldn't block him by standing up, you would have had the strength to help hold him down, so that you don't have to be so tall to block him.
Yeah.
None of the females were able to do that.
I want to say I did a security at a Bill Clinton event, 2002 in New Orleans. I wasn't, like right up on him, but they were telling us, if something goes down, SOP is to get him down. Crowd, he's bent over, and like gotta go from standing to bent, and then get him out. Don't let him stand up. He needs to be covered completely and get him out.
Yep.
Well, that was that. The next thing I wanted to talk about mostly is the whole Amber Rose situation.
Transition.
The whole Amber Rose situation that came up. Now, I will say this, and this goes for both men and women. So I like to generally separate things because it's obviously one does something more than the other. Obviously, this goes for literally just both,
you're interested
honestly.
in one, and then there's
definitely women, obviously. So very key things she said. So I went over some of it. I did for the show, but there's some very key things to point out there. She highlights in the first part of what she's talking about that she was challenged by her dad, and then she went and looked and did the research herself. That right there, just that in an isolation form, that right there proves half the people on the planet, especially that live here, are beyond stupid. It took her dad being like, hey, I know you feel this way about this guy, but, look into it. Don't just believe everything you're told. First of all, this woman, I don't know how old she was at the time. I don't know how old she was. Doesn't matter. That could show you how brainwashed people are. Does that not? That's all it took was her dad saying, hey, look into this. So I do. She said she did, and it came out that half the stuff people said was wrong. No shit.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, it's really shitty that we just accept things, but that's awesome that she actually looked into something.
But then here's the kicker. How many more people like her exist like that out there?
Well, I was watching a YouTube short today of a guy who said he was one of those like extreme leftists, and he started like researching on his own about Donald Trump. He's like, the shit I was told he said, the man never said. He wasn't this. I went and learned for myself, and I'm spreading this word to people for them to do the same thing.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing. No one even latched onto. Everyone's talking about the religious stuff. I'm not religious. I don't care. Like if you're religious, that's fine. That's cool. I'm not. Whatever. We could talk about it. I don't care. I'm not gonna shit on someone's religion, but for me, I'm religious. But the first part of it is very, very important because it shows just how the average person is so beyond dumb that it has to take not just their parents, not just their friends, and it could be anybody. Tell you, hey,
I wouldn't say that.
Don't just believe that. Don't just believe what you're told. Actually, try to look into it. That's beyond stupid.
I don't think you can call them dumb. I think they
dumb.
just have believed what they've heard.
No, they get
He
told
might
that
be dumb, but they're not dumb.
No, I'm saying like to me personally. I'm not speaking for you guys, but to me, that is a sign of a dumb person that you wouldn't constantly in your mind.
But that's a
like,
normie. It's somebody who's not online, and they're getting that. There is kind of like the national news, like mainstream thing, and you can get your flavor of it, whether you want to go to the left side or the right side. I don't know that that's necessarily the truth. It does seem to be tinted with some sort of affiliation. So I don't know, man. I've run into so many of those people. Like I think that's your average person. I don't think she's a dummy. I just don't think she ever put anything into it.
I'm saying that is a bad thing. That the average person just consumes that and believes it, doesn't bother even questioning it. That's a horrible thing. I even saw videos of some of the guys that I watch go out in real life. They do those street videos where they talk to people and stuff like that. People literally trying to justify bullshit that they've heard to themselves. And when you like hear it and it sounds like you're like, what are you talking about? This makes no sense. That said
Trump militarized cops to kill black people. And
the one video you dropped in the group chat last night, I watched it, and the old guy is saying this is set up. He's trying to basically justify this assassination was a setup, even though he had no evidence of it. Obviously, average wasn't going to have evidence, but we had just seen this happen, play out in front of us. There's no way you could even hopefully say it's a setup without any concrete evidence to show otherwise, because remember, it just happened. It's so fresh. We don't know if it was a setup without any long form standing evidence to prove that, right? You have people saying, well, he's the bad guy. Someone asks him any reasons why you think he's a bad guy. They're like, he did. They don't even tell you that. They don't even really give you reasons. Like, for me personally, it's how I've always kind of thought of things. If someone can't like think past 1 + 1 = 2, then that's not good, right? We are fostering some really dumb people. Like most people, when they have like thoughts in their heads, or like when they put them on Twitter, you know, people will just only go over like the bare minimum surface level, and it's Twitter. There's only so many characters you can only tweet, which is understandable. But it never goes past that to understand the nuance of why it comes to that. That was my biggest thing that she had said. I didn't care about what she does for sex work. I mean, bills ain't gonna pay themselves. I don't care, honestly. Bills got to get paid. I don't really care about that.
Okay, so I hear that you believe that 1 + 1 = 2. What's 1 times 1?
Tiny, take him down for me. Please do it.
I'm wondering if you believe in teriology, man.
He didn't even actually go after you yet.
1 times 1 is 7.
Like for me, that because like how many times in your real life has this happened? Someone just is told something about you and they just believe it without even asking you.
Almost every day where I live.
And that's average people that don't like Trump. They're just told these things. They don't question it. Nothing. They're just consuming like robot. Like, that's not good. People don't understand that. That is not good. That is bad. That is awful. That many people think like that, function like that. And it basically, someone has to inherently like flick them on the head and go, hey, dude, wake up. Hello. How can anything change? How can anything change? Because once that's put into their brains, it's very hard to change them. Remember, she said she believed this for a very long time. Another guy we talked about last night on Monday, the guy Kaiser from the LCS that I know from LCS. Remember you were on the show last night, or yeah. He said he was following this for 8
They're
years.
all the same
And he just now changed his positions to think like, wait, maybe they've been lying to us. After 8 years? After 8 years, they've already won.
Yeah, man. I don't think you should spite them because they're just coming around to it now. A lot of people aren't invested in this. They've heard, kind of a version of the story, and they're not investing deeply. Like, I'm sure you've talked shit on Acolyte, right? Like, in all of these shows? No, in the last 8 weeks, you haven't done shit. I just know you haven't watched it. I'm just saying, have you researched everything? We're all somewhat hypocritical in this.
Garbage?
We do take some people's opinions on stuff. You know, it would take too much time to investigate every single word that is ever said to us.
Okay. I think there's a difference between taking the word of someone's advice for a TV show versus political figures that have impacts on the country and how like your money is spent and about stuff. There's a little bit of different levels to that, you know?
Fair enough.
Like, I get what you're saying. That is somewhat of a decent comparison. My thing is it doesn't matter how long someone comes around to get it, because eventually someone could change their mind and come around to something. That's fine. I'm a person that believes in like redemption and stuff. I don't mind any of that. That's not what I mind. What I mind is it takes someone that long to get to that point. Like, then that means not only were you not invested, which what you said is true. So since you're not invested, why would you believe everything you're hearing then? If you're not invested, which is fine.
In this day and age, telling me I'm not saying this about me personally. I'm just using
everyone's naive but me. No, I'm just kidding.
In this day and age, telling me I'm wrong, or if I got one person telling me everything I know is a lie, one person telling me everything I know is, like gospel. I'm using that term figuratively, not literally. I'm going to lean towards this person. And it'll take something happening like the assassination attempt or messing with Hollywood's money for them to realize, oh shit, maybe I was wrong the last 8 years.
So this is what I was going to say. This is true. I don't disagree with you, man. But that is the inherent problem. It's the same thing that Gray said. It's not a problem. I agree. If someone is not invested into what is going on, how could you believe what they're saying is true, though? How could you even come to that conclusion? If you're not invested,
it's easier.
Yeah, but that's where the naivety comes apart. If a person has no skin in the game and is going to believe the first thing that they hear about someone that they don't know, I don't want this person around me. Well, I'm sorry.
Don't call them stupid. They believed what they heard.
They're naive.
An example. You got a domestic violence partnership. This woman keeps getting beat. She keeps going back. Something, hopefully, something happens that she finally wakes up.
Yeah.
Can't call her stupid for it. Naive would be the better term. It'll take something to open her eyes and realize, hey, you do have it better here.
Yeah. Like, maybe I sound crazy, but I had to start thinking about that kind of stuff when I wouldn't say I was left leaning or whatever. I was in the middle. Some things they say are good. It doesn't really matter, right? I was always consider myself a middle person, but I wouldn't
center fielder.
I love taking the centers. Wait, what fucking hell? So my thing generally is if average people, like you said, aren't invested, then them believing it is even worse because they're just taking it, believing it, saying it, repeating it to other people as if it's true. And it's like, that's how they're able to program people. Is that not? All I'm saying is basically, if you don't have any skin in the game, you shouldn't be believing anything. You don't know what is true, what is not true, what is missing context, what has no context, anything. And that was the person that is her, many other men, women voting for so that they don't even know the full scope for themselves. Those people voting. That's horrible. That's really bad. Hopefully, maybe after this, more people come around, which is fine. They come around to it. That's probably fine. But the damage has already been done. Has the damage not already been done from them winning?
With her, I'm not a fan of her at all. What I know of her, I can't stand her. But I'm going to say this. If what I didn't see her speech. I'm going to have to go watch it. But if what she said is genuine, welcome to the club.
Yeah. I would just say
I'd gladly welcome you. If you're falling, if I'm leaning right, you're falling into my camp. I don't care what you do. Welcome. You be a freaking a prostitute. This is why I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah,
you're here. I don't care if they had a prostitute on stage talking like an actual prostitute on stage talking. She's if she is going to give her. I'm assuming she gave her journey and explained stuff like that. And if it shows people, hey, this side is not wrong, I'm all for it.
Also said, what's up, RGYT? What's up, man? How you doing, dude? Besides politics, how many news outlets do you question there being ulterior motive? Oh, plenty, honestly. It just depends on why. I'll just assume that everyone has different information that they're willing to withhold from people. So this is something
Here, let me ask you a question then. Have you ever said the following about Leslie Headland, that she used to work for Harvey Weinstein?
Well, I knew that. I just don't think it matters.
Have you ever said that or parroted that part?
I don't think so. I don't want to talk about Leslie Headland like that. I've read it in the articles, but I'm just like, okay.
I actually did a stupid deep dive into it. It is a video that I'm working on, but man, at any given time, he had between 3 and 4 actual personal assistants. Then he also had an executive assistant. So the years in question, so if you go to her Wikipedia page, it says that she was there for 4 years. And then that links to a Rotten Tomatoes page, which also has the same information. But if you go to the actual articles that those are based on, there's at least 4 different ones where she's quoting, I worked at Miramax for 6 years, 1 year of which I was Harvey Weinstein's assistant. She wrote this huge play that's basically lambasting him for all this shit, basically just saying, if you're going to be an assistant, you need to quit being a human. You have to just be an assistant.
So she knew.
Now, this is just the demanding, bullshit, filing and stuff. It has nothing to do with his personal life or anything like that. But she basically wrote this scathing thing against him, this entire play that represents greed. So she has this series of 7 plays that are the Deadly Sins. And then this one is greed. Anyway, she's under so many NDAs from Miramax that she can't talk about it, but she's done everything that she can do under her power to say how horrible he is without actually being able to talk about it. I think it's really shitty to hold her to some standard because she was 19. There's a lot of people who are just taking that on, man. I seriously have 30 different clips of people just parroting that same thing. I think a lot of people take things because, okay, here's this somewhat fact, and okay, let me run with it. I think it's unfair. It's a shorthand that we all do. It would be cool if we looked into more shit.
Yeah. Now, my thing with that,
get that, but at the same time, she was 19. She knew what was going on. She could have stepped away.
Yeah, because what you just said,
no proof that she knew what was going on. So
but that's the clear
there
thing.
is one assistant who was named in one of the court cases, and the only thing that she knew is apparently she was in the car when a celebrity was brought to his hotel, so she had to testify to that. It doesn't seem like any of the actual personal assistants were anywhere near aware of this, but there's no accusations from 2003, which is the year that she was there. So I don't know, just making that connection is a bit far.
Okay.
How long did she work for him?
4 years.
So him 1 year at Miramax, 6 years, but then she was also personal assistant to 2 other heavy hitters.
What I'm bringing up basically is this is why situations need more talking. Of what you just said. If she works for someone for a year, a year is quite a decent amount of time. Okay, I'm supposed to rationally believe in my head,
dude. What did you do when you were 19?
No. What
Do
I'm
you want to
saying
forever be known as that? Like, seriously,
no.
like, did you have a
That's not what I'm
shitty job?
bringing
I worked in a call center. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was scamming. I'm not sure. Like, we called on behalf of charities to ask for more
Okay.
donations. I don't know if it was legit or not. I probably only worked there like 6 months, but man, I would hate to be known as a telephone scammer because for like 6 months over a summer after I graduated, I worked for this shitty place. Like, I don't know, man.
What I'm saying
It would be
is,
shitty.
if she worked for this guy for a year, I'm not saying she did or didn't do anything, right? That's just a red flag, okay? Her working for Harvey Weinstein. We've lived life. I know you have. We all have. We're supposed to believe in our heads that nothing bad happened with her and him for an entire year. All the 24 hours, all those 7 days a week.
Doing the shit he did for a year.
You know, that's the problem when it comes in those situations, dude. Do I think she did any bad stuff? I don't know. A lot of people in Hollywood have did bad stuff. We know that.
So, what do you think a personal assistant does at a movie studio?
I imagine she gets some gigs, right?
Everything and anything the person they're working for wants.
He's financing a movie. She gets the people to talk to him. Their usual assistants.
She sets up his meeting. She sets up his meeting. She's in charge of his schedule. She probably gets his laundry and his coffee and his everything else.
Yeah.
So but I'm sorry. Don't tell me that.
Then he also has an executive assistant. So I think the one who would have the more personal information would be that executive assistant.
Yeah, you don't think they talk to each other?
Yeah, but that's
oh my god, I had to bring this young actor to his office today. You don't think they talk?
Everybody knew it was happening. Everybody knew, and no one talked about it.
Ben Affleck said he knew.
But I'm sorry.
Well, that's the case. Like, you'd have to.
I didn't say anything. Is a worthless coward.
My thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that everyone knew, then yeah, they all would be cowards. I just think you'd have to do anyone who ever worked for Miramax. So
she didn't know. Maybe she was 19 and naive. Sure, like we said, that can be applicable. But the problem is, are you going to genuinely believe that she had no one, that she knew nothing of it for an entire year, man? That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time.
From everything that I've researched on this, I find no connection to it, and I don't
think
it
could be true. I'm not saying you're not.
I'm saying you're pushing this forward. So, man, if you're going to call them naive for believing something without looking into it, I think you got to look in the mirror, my friend.
I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, but I'm saying that each situation kind of calls for a different level of conversation that goes with it, though. You know, because this is the guy doing stuff for movies. You know. We're talking about politicians that have a direct impact on like wars happening, money laundering, politics, and all. A little bit bigger than that. All I'm saying basically is, I don't know, if you lived enough times, which I know you have, all of us lived life. The fact that you don't know something is that's a weird gray area, man. I don't. And to be fair, maybe she doesn't remember anything from a certain period of point in time. The human brain blocks stuff out that's traumatic to you. I'm not saying he hit her or anything, but I'm supposed to believe that she remembers when she's 19 everything happening.
I know that's a thing. I know it's a thing that people's brains will block shit out, but me personally, it blows my mind because I want to remember everything. I don't ever want to forget anything that ever happened because if I do, I may do it again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Thank God on the watch the Acolyte.
But like I know it happens. It just blows my mind if someone try to block it. Like I can't fathom not.
For sure. It's one of my biggest fears, man. Like, God, if you start losing your memory or whatever, if you start not remembering. Like,
I told my family, if I get to that point, I know no one's going to do it. Take me out back, shoot me, burn me in a fucking burn pile, and just, go about your business. I do not want to forget how to live. I don't want to forget who you are. I don't want to be angry at everybody because I don't know who you are and why you're in my house.
Because I see what you're saying. Well, what you're saying basically is, people are saying that she was his former personal assistant to imply that she knew bad things were happening and covered for it.
There's no accusations. Where like with Ghislaine or whatever, she's been named in like every fucking accusation that's out there. Like that is like some pretty decent webs of accusations that all lead back to one person. This one, I don't see anything. Like I went and did a deep dive. Like, am I missing something? I really don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe you believe all women actually
talk to each other. They had to have.
Maybe you're in the Kamala Harris camp. Believe women. So Gray for Kamala. Damn, man. How could you do it to me, man? You betrayed me.
It's that cackle, man. It just gets me.
Yeah, that's just my normal, every average day way of thinking about something because, there's a lot of time in the day and a lot of things can happen. A lot of things have happened to a lot of people. To believe that every day was just rainbows and sunshines and nothing happened and it was just cakewalks. I don't know, man. And to be fair, when people are recollecting stories, they don't always say the story where, they knew something or they're going to put themselves in a bad light. It's just not something people do generally. I'm never the bad guy in my stories because I'm always the hero. But, I'm saying these are just hypotheticals, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that right there requires a different level of a discussion than we're bringing up earlier. It just does. People kind of like lump everything together, and it's just not how that would go for average conversation because each thing is detailed differently. You know, what I'm bringing up is if someone is going to parrot something, right, but having no skin in the game at all. Like the reason why that's different with Star Wars compared to this, because we're fans of Star Wars, right? So we have like some level of skin in the game.
It's different. I was just trying to make an analogy, but you're right. The difference also is there is a clip to back this up.
And just believe the most random shit told to them. That's pretty like.
Well, if you get a clip out of context that doesn't include the sentence before and doesn't include the sentence after, the explanation of it, then you heard it. So why wouldn't you believe it? You heard it with your own ears.
That's true. Walter says it's like the woke agenda. If you're a person that doesn't come from the holy shit, I can't read. I'm Don Lemon, or am I? I'm joking, guys. It's like the woke agenda. If you're a person that doesn't came or follow the politics of that stuff, you generally won't care, even if you think that stuff when they put minorities. Yeah. So I told people this before too. I know there are potentially maybe political undertones with a lot of writing and stuff like that when it comes to movies and television. Generally, I will say that it doesn't really bother me at all. I generally don't care, but it's a difference when something is like in your face compared to it being a part of a story undertone. Once again, another thing of like thinking everything is lumped into one thing, Something can have an undertone to it and it not affect the story at all and just further drive home how great it is. Or characters could basically front that as a message to you, I don't think they're generally the same when it comes to those kind of things, but that's how I look at things. People are just going to look at things differently, What else did she talk about? Oh, okay. Well, that was just the biggest part of it. Oh, people were talking about.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, what is the overview on that? So, I kind of heard that Matt Walsh and his side are really going after her because she's there.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, sorry. Thank you for bringing it up. Okay, so basically, Matt Walsh Millie Mack and Matt Walsh basically went off on this thing of like, basically, why are you putting this basically as whore in front of conservatives? Essentially,
what's wrong with whores? Whores. Lives matter.
Yes, they do. And if you're a whore, please DM me. So, people are talking about repentance and all that stuff. So there's basically two arguments. One argument, okay, maybe you remember the second one. I kind of forgot the second one, but the first one I know for sure is, okay, why is this organization platforming this whore in front of like conservative people who generally have more like religious viewpoints, But then you get another portion of it where they went like, okay, we have religious background, Catholic, Christian, whatever. Don't that subsection of religion believe in repentance? But then, to understand, there's also a third line to it. Are you just going to believe every single person that says they repented?
So wait, you think the party of Trump can't include whores?
No, I don't care. I love whores. What are you talking about? So there's so many different ways to look at it.
Brothel on every corner.
Because people talk about like morality and all of the other fucking gay shit. I want people to understand this too. When someone's talking on the internet, I'm not saying myself. Obviously, what you see is kind of what you get if you met me too. People will always try to make themselves look better on the internet because they don't know you personally. It's much more easier for that to happen, right? So when someone's talking about morality and all this stuff, like I said before, different situations call for different ways to talk about them. Like people use that girl for an example for other things. Like, let's say people say the left, right? And that's also weird to just lump everyone in the left together. I don't try to always do that. I say some, majority, or whatever. If some of those people want you dead for different political viewpoints, why should you care about what happens to them? People say, but it's morally consistent. It doesn't. Who cares about being morally consistent? They literally want you dead, like on the ground, not alive anymore. Why should I give a fuck if you're dead?
Okay, when I was growing up, my grandmother talked about Skokie all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it had the largest number of Jews who'd survived the Holocaust outside of Israel, and the neo-Nazis wanted to march and claimed that they should all have been wiped off the planet. And the right thing to do was to let them march. Now, we lost a third of my family in World War II, and this was not that long after. So I grew up being told it doesn't matter how fucked up they are, you stand by your principles. And that's all I have to say. But everybody was raised differently, and everyone's gonna have their own point. My personal point,
For
because
sure.
I was raised with that stupid story so many times. Is
but no, as you, well, Tiny then, because I haven't asked her anything yet, because I keep her in a cage locked up just for me. But if you have certain principles that get challenged so much to the point where it's like, if the other side, hypothetically, theoretically, is not playing the same, then why does it really matter then? You know, if these people want you dead,
because it's not about their soul, it's about yours.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Is
but
that
you gotta have principles, man?
Do you? Because
I think you should. I've been meaning to talk to you about it. Some principles.
No, but who are these principles for, though? I'm asking, who are these for? Who are you trying to impress?
Who are they high for? School, junior highs, elementaries. They got vice principals too.
I'm not saying having principles is a bad thing. I'm just saying, like,
your principles are for you. Therefore, only you can decide whether you can hold them up or not.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Is it seems like people are trying to basically push their own basic principles onto the people. Now, if you have kids or whatever, that's different, obviously. But these are people you generally won't know. So I would imagine that the way they think about situations are different. I think generally, if people have quarrels this bad, they don't care if you're homeless. They don't care if you're censored. They don't care if you're canceled. In my brain, wouldn't care what happens to them. Why should I? They literally do not like you in any capacity. Why are you sharing a shred of capacity for those people? I wouldn't.
Okay. I kind of see where you're at now. I'm with you. I don't care. Someone hates me, wants me dead. I don't care what happens to them. But at the same time, if something is going to happen to them and I can stop it, I'm going to.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's just the mentality I have.
I just don't think
people.
I just don't think there should be this like
fucked
helping
up and
hand.
Very stressful, but
I just don't think there should be this helping hand of people. It's like, well, this person got canceled, or whatever. These are people that have been revealed that don't like you at all. I don't even, because you think politically different from them. That's the one I'm going to send a helping hand to. Why don't I extend a helping hand to people that hypothetically, theoretically care about you?
Well, if they're being canceled because they've said something and there's a huge backlash and everyone's saying like what happened with Target or what happened with Bud Light.
Yeah.
To me, that's not censoring anyone's freedom of speech. That's the entire community going, we don't like what you're doing and we're going to make sure you're aware that we as a community don't like what you're doing. But if someone is saying horrible, hateful things on Twitter or Facebook, generally I try to mute them all. Every once in a while, if it's so egregious that I'm worried about other people, or I'm worried that this person might actually, they're probably just spewing bullshit, but they might actually be dangerous, I'll report them. But generally speaking, I only use the mute button because I shouldn't have to listen to them, but I also don't have a right to not let them speak.
You muted me?
No, dumbass. If I haven't muted you, how could I be sharing half the shit you post or more?
I guess I could kind of like answer your question.
Oh my God. Can I get dinner now too?
Hey, Darnell was talking. Okay, MSK.
Oh my
Seriously.
God. I hate all of you clout chasing.
That's
okay, you're fine. Go ahead, man.
Shit off the train of thought. Why should you care? Okay, because I'm just playing devil's advocate here. That like use Amber Rose as an example. Why should you care? Well, she listened to the other side, and it opened her eyes to start, see what it opened her eyes. You should, I say you should care, not really care, but fuck, I had it in my head before I interrupted y'all, and I forgot, I lost it.
No, it's fine, man.
I'm sorry, man.
I
screwed you over.
All the time.
It's me.
No, you're fine, man. It's I think there's different levels of caring. Caring about if someone doesn't care if you live or die is different from someone switching like their political views. Those are very much different things. Someone's want you not alive, breathing anymore, compared to like. I got it.
Oh, I got it back. You care to live or die.
Shut up, MSK.
If here's why a reason to care, not the reason you need to care, but here's a reason to care. You care to live or die might make them be like, hey, this dude who I've been attacking for XYZ amount of time gave a shit. I'm gonna go see what this guy's about. And that might open their eyes to see that, oh shit, I've been looking at this with blinders on. This guy got a point. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah. I just think there's levels to that where if someone like wants you dead compared to like, hey, I just switched my political views. That's a little like,
Yeah,
Walter says,
just be careful, man. So
Walter says, I
as
watch politics.
RGYT. Okay, you finish
No,
that
it's-
first.
Wait, is this one? Oh my god.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he keeps kind of pointing out Destiny. Just be careful. Destiny's getting raked over the coals kind of for that. He's basically saying, I don't care anymore. You guys brought this rhetoric on yourself. You inflamed it. So now that it's super inflamed, you guys have to deal with it. So just be careful. That seems similar to the position that you were espousing. So you should care, man.
And I'm sorry, almost everything that he has spewed in the last 48 hours has been just disgraceful.
Yeah,
For sure.
What I'm bringing
His
up
justification is similar to MSK's, though.
No,
that he
what
doesn't
I'm
care.
talking about caring is a caring of like we'll use Destiny then. Destiny doesn't care if you live or die if you're a conservative. I'm not even saying I am, but he literally said he wouldn't care if his own mom died if she went to one of those and got hit. That's a level of like, why would I care
He
about
said he
what
would
the hell
care, but it would be deserved.
No,
It's different.
he didn't. He said that there will be one less body for him to take care of, or one less problem to take care of. He's a terrible person.
He said Biden would be up +1 in the state.
No, oh, sorry. There's also a video he talked about it too. It's when we went over it in the video that I have. It'll come out. I promise you, it's there. The thing, what I'm saying is, someone like Oyusen, for example, right? Whatever happens to that guy, I don't give a fuck about. He literally openly said, basically, he doesn't care if you die, if you're like Trump, you have different political viewpoints. That's different from like, what's the one that we could use? Like the Amber Rose thing. She changed her political views. That's great. That's awesome. That's probably pretty good that she opened her eyes. There's two different levels to that. Someone wants you dead, and someone just basically changed their mind. But I imagine she didn't like hate and wanted you dead for your political views. I think there's certain people you shouldn't care about or give any not time to. You gotta just each person is a leveled experience.
I get where you're coming from. I have had a lot of people who I grew up with say they hated me because of what I did and they wished I would die. But over time have, spoken to me and said, hey, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They saw, the error of their ways. And there's some that double down and say, I wish you had gotten shot while on duty or whatever.
Problem.
I don't give two shits. Oh, you feel that way? Awesome. Have a nice day, bud. I don't care.
And then,
but just know that if something happened to you, I'm coming to help you.
And the whole caring thing is very weird because people have different levels of caring. I care in very odd ways. It really just depends on how that person is, though. Does that person warrant me to care about them? Because someone like Destiny, it's like, well, no, I'm good. If someone wants you literally dead for thinking differently than them, that's not someone you even want to bother to care for.
We saw that because I ain't listening.
Yeah, we saw all that with many of those tweets that came out where it said, "Oh, the shooter missed," and all stuff. Keep in mind when people are saying the shooter missed, you hit an innocent person and killed that dad, so you didn't care if that innocent dad died either. Now I'm supposed to care about that person. Let's say if they get canceled, I'm supposed to care about that person. Like, no, like who gives a fuck what happens to you?
Getting canceled, I don't give two shits about. But if their life is in danger, I actually care.
I'm saying, people can have free speech. I like that. Say whatever you want. You can. Now people can decide whether or not they want to do with that information that you just gave out to them. You do have the right to say whatever you want, but people that run business get to decide whatever happens to you. Whether that's right or wrong is also debatable because of positions they previously had themselves. But I'm a genius actually, and now I'm gonna go have sex with my wife.
Does he have pants on actually?
Not wearing any pants again.
I feel bad for the Dora pillow.
Why is Tiny always looking at my butt?
Because you keep getting up without wearing any pants.
It is tight. So
it's hot in here. 94 degrees, woman.
So get a fan.
It's pretty taut muscles that the sun shines off of. So just saying,
Yeah, because people are having like
I can't tell.
People are just having like all these moral superiority debates, and it's like religion and all this stuff. It's like, oh my god, it's just too much. It's just too much. And I like it. I like going down all these different roads because there's different ways people look at stuff compared to how they get their morals and their principles.
And then there's also the mentality of I just don't care to listen to what you say, so I don't care what you say about me. So
yeah, it's true. Much like
you go ahead and waste your breath and waste your energy on me. I'm just gonna go about and do my thing.
I watched politics in these last few months turn MSK from a wife beater guy to a trucker hat and sunglasses in a dark room guy.
Wait a minute, dude. Is that true? Did your pillow leave you for Tyrone?
Very possible. Very possible. Oh God, man.
He's yet to find out.
You know, there was so much today. I mean, even in the group chat, you know, everyone there's usually never any problems. There people's having these long-winded discussions, and that's what you're supposed to do. Not everything's supposed to be like, you know, black and white. It's supposed to be talked through. It's like if someone has a religious background, then they're gonna have moral principles to themselves a bit different than the average person that isn't. That would make sense, right? You know, but I think. Like, you know, the take of well, the right always loses because they're the gatekeep and all that stuff. Well, you know, gatekeeping has a sense of level to it. You don't want just you don't just believe everyone, take everyone's word for it. I think that's the problem with people too, taking everyone's word for everything. You know, is there no like level we want to test this at like 6 months, maybe 3 months, a year? It's like, hey, I've changed, believe me. It's like, fuck, I can say that too. I can say I'm white now. I can say I'm gonna start wearing pants all the time.
We know you haven't changed. You always promise to wear pants, but never.
I put on pants.
Hey, he's wearing sleeves now.
That's true.
All right, that is half the problem.
Am I supposed to look proper on stream?
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually,
I'm doing this out of my bedroom.
that goes a long way.
I'm supposed to look like a freaking lawyer
in a
on
garage.
stream. Man, dude. Well,
no one would buy a lawyer, but like at least a custodian or something.
So that's what I want to bring up. Oh my God, something great about the Acolyte recently. Okay, so what is the other way you thought about coming at the Leslie Headland situation? Because I know you don't like the show, but the thing that you mostly tackled is the Leslie Headland stuff. So is this from like, because you said it was parroted by a lot of people, but what is the inherent problem with something that is inherently a fact? Right, that is a fact. She didn't work for this guy. That's not like not true.
They're not just leaving it at that, and then they're saying like, "What more would you expect from Harvey Weinstein's former assistant?" It's like, yeah, that's 21 years ago. That's what a 19-year-old did to get their foot into the business. She then parlayed that into writing this bad play about him that got some buzz. Then she became a writer and then worked her way up. She did Russian Dolls before this. She's done a couple of okay things. One of her first jobs was writing for Terriers. But how I got into this was everyone was saying Star Wars is too sexy now. Star Wars had this OnlyFans episode and a whole bunch of shit like that. So I was watching a whole bunch of reviews for episode 6, which happened to have Manny Jacinto topless. And apparently everyone's just like, oh my God, this is over the top. But in those, they kept saying, but what more would you expect from Leslie Headland, who is Harvey Weinstein's former assistant?
Well,
so that's how I went down this thing.
To be fair, if the roles were reversed and it was a right-leaning director or showrunner who did something similar, the left would be like trying to cancel this dude's great-grandchildren.
Probably. Dude, so, I remember when George did his special edition of it, they were trying to take Leia out in the bikini because, you know, that was just so sexist. And then everything with Jabba's palace actually is scantily clad women who are slaves.
Right.
It already has been done. Like, I mean, there was this uproar back then too. Well, as long as he's recutting it and he's like adding Jabba so that Han can walk over him, why isn't he taking out slave Leia? That's just sexism.
Right. I'm just saying that the left would be coming after a right-leaning director, showrunner, and I'm not saying they do it, so it's right that this side does it. But if you're going to open this door for this to happen, for you to do this, that door is going to swing back the other way.
I'm just saying, what about all that dirty sand talk? There's Anakin waking up, Hayden Christensen all sweaty and topless in bed next to Padme. There's Luke in the back to tank. There's so many topless guy scenes that I can think of from Star Wars. I don't think we ever saw Han naked, but Darth Maul, like I think in the actual thing he had a cloak on, but every time he was in the cartoon, he's just topless. I don't know, man. I think it's a slightly different.
The evidence here is that Dave Filoni really likes his alien males topless.
Yeah, as they should be. I mean, clothing would be alien to them.
Who wouldn't want to look at hot women, dude? Women are based around, you know, a lot of their looks and their sex appeal. I'm just saying, like, that's why you mostly
Dude can be attractive, man. The dude can look
at me, right?
It was really funny. The one thing that that Ryan was saying on Friday Night Tights the other night was that, well, technically the Sith would use something like seduction. So it's like the only thing in this that actually makes sense to me at all.
He seemed to be the only one who actually was kind of looking at that scene like, yeah, I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with Slave Leia. Like, it's all good. Almost everybody else that I've seen is just like so offended and prudish about this thing. Like, this is the OnlyFans episode where it's like, it's just a muscled dude. Like, I don't know.
They kept acting
it's implied
like
nudity.
This was for the same age group as like Clone Wars and stuff, and it's not.
It's not. Andor is my favorite thing, and that is not a kid's Star Wars thing. It's I think the best Star Wars thing Disney has done. I really dig Andor. I think this is supposed to be kind of in that same vein. It's not done nearly as well.
No, the show's overall a shit show. But the people I know who take issue with the nudity thing, it's more the people I know personally that I've talked to has said it's not so much that it's their turn to, oh, you're trying to do this, but they got mad at this, but they're doing the exact same thing they were mad at before. So they call this out. I'm calling this.
There's not consistency there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, which is, do you think the people that are saying that have their own, are they being disingenuous? Like, what more would you want? That's what I'm trying to say.
I think it's a way that you can attack them. I don't necessarily know that they are actually offended by it, and that they do think that it is OnlyFans.
Right. It opens the door to talk about other shit.
Yeah. So it's just another way to attack it.
It doesn't need, people don't need to though, because
there's so much to go after here.
And I'm like, it was actually one of the better directed scenes where no one speaks and you can actually see some type of acting. And the entire rest of the show is so stupid and so worthless. There's one scene that I actually thought was done slightly well, is that everyone's bitching about. I'm kind of like,
I don't think you convert a female to the dark side with just, you'll have power. I think there could be more to it. And I think it's a different way than we've seen.
I can
There's layers to that scene. It also sets up.
So dumb. Everything else is
gotta
so
see his
dumb.
scars too. It sets that up.
Or contradictory that that scene for people to be harping on makes no sense to me.
That was what started me down that rabbit hole. It was just like, really, there's so much to actually like criticize about this, like so much. But
are they not?
The fact that it's like 50 Shades of Jedi or it's the OnlyFans episode, it's like
50 Shades of Sith.
No, I'm saying, have people not? I mean, I've seen many people criticize mostly everything about the show. All the clips that I've seen from people, and those are really bad. The one that threw me off was the whole shaving your head with the lights. I was like, that looks so fucking stupid. Like, come on.
You know that you wish you could do that.
When her head almost, her face would come off doing that, wouldn't it? Or wouldn't it burn his scalp?
We were lucky.
Her hair was long in the back. When she was bent over, it wasn't draped over her shoulders. It was still down her back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a CG move. It wasn't exactly real.
Well, then I'll
spent $180 million into this.
When you do your Leslie Headland video, I'll just ask you this: what are you trying to what are you trying to prove with it that people?
I'm just gonna say, there's so much to criticize in this. This is a really bad argument. Don't use this one. That's it.
I can see that.
Do you think that's a form of censorship then?
I just think it's a really bad argument, and it just shows that you haven't actually researched
but you
it.
said don't use that one. So technically, in your own form, that is censoring what people would criticize.
Sure, it is. I'm saying, hey, this is a really bad argument for these reasons. This is why you shouldn't use it.
I was just clarifying.
If you're going to, feel free, but I don't think that there's any evidence to back it up. It seems to be just like a weird way of, essentially saying, hey, if you aren't spotless or your record hasn't been spotless for the last 21 years, fully expect anybody to call you anything you've done in that time. Which same group who keeps doing that, their past isn't exactly spotless. And I think it's shitty when people kind of come at them with like, hey, you used to be X, or you chose X over, your family. It seems like it's a really shitty way to try and criticize somebody, to just write them off.
No, I know what you're saying.
I think that's the same thing that they're doing.
Usually when people bring that up,
no, you can do it. I'm just trying to prove that it's a bad idea too, and that's it.
No, not that. I'm just saying, like, you just try to ask people why they would make certain videos like that, is because, I like digging in your brain. That's all it is.
Yeah. Basically, I think somebody heard somebody else say it, and then it keeps going down the line. And I don't think it's a good argument. There's so much to actually critique every single thing about. Like, they didn't go into any actual character development, and they did that for the sake of this mystery. And this mystery does not pay off. Like, it's not done well. Every part of this Yeah,
Dude,
there's so
none
everyone
many
of the
called it
shows
episode
do
cooler
that.
ways that they could have done this.
Dude,
Everybody
none of
called
the
it
MCU
episode
shows
one.
do that. None of the Star Wars ones that I've seen do that. These shows have. This is a problem in every one of these shows. Every one of them has this. None of them probably developed.
Andor is
anything.
pretty cool.
Well, I tapped out after Obi-Wan. I was like, I gotta be done with this. I just you can't stay up and watch this shit. I'm still surprised people still stay up and watch these new episodes when they drop, because that is a dedication to itself. These are bad. Like, I would see if it
Andor's worth it, man.
Like
I wasn't the biggest fan of Rogue One, but seriously, Andor, it's pretty badass. If you get a chance, you won't hate that one.
Of what you just said. Characters that literally mean nothing. Straight plastic characters. You don't remember nothing about that movie. And I remember nothing outside of the Darth Vader scene. And
it's a decent movie, man.
It's not that it's bad. It's just really forgettable. It's just.
I think it's the best Disney Star Wars one.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the best one that we can't remember anything out of but one scene. Oh, we're getting some good content here.
Dude, don't say we. I think both I and Darnell remember scenes from it.
Like,
man, it's a decent flick.
I often will rewatch episode 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, and then 4, 5, 6. Like 2 or 3 times a year, I'll do it. But like when I get to the scene in Rogue One where they're all dying at the end, I have a lump in my fucking chest every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a badass scene.
Yeah, like the anger I get when dipshit McGee, the fucking guy who wants the credit for the Death Star, I can't remember his fucking name. He when he shows up on screen, every time he's on screen, I want to like vomit and like punch my TV.
Only character I remember is that main girl, and I don't remember who her name was anymore.
Jen
don't
Erso.
remember Jen Orso? Come on, man.
I remember Andor. Remember he was there, and they died together on the planet when it got bombed. I remember the Darth Vader scene. I remember the Leia, because it ties in episode 4. I remember that. Like the very ending is what I remember. If you ask me what, I think her dad died in the beginning part. There's that part where her dad died in the beginning part of it, and there's that giant middle part with like Forrest Whitaker or some shit. I don't remember that at all.
Her dad didn't die at the beginning. Her mom did.
Someone died. I don't remember. That's all forgettable that movie was. I knew someone died. I just can't remember who character was. But there's that. After that, something with Forrest Whitaker, a black guy, and then ending blank, complete blank.
The only real big thing I
don't remember that guy with the chain gun. Nothing.
Oh yeah,
Chinese guy?
Nope. Polynesian guy.
Possibly.
The Asian guy was using sword. I didn't remember that.
I thought he was Polynesian.
There's that too, but then there's his buddy who has the big gun.
Yeah.
Great. Jog my memory. I don't remember anything.
All right, man. I can't remember those two characters' names.
Hey,
I'm bad at remembering names.
Han Solo. Pretty. Do you think it was forgettable? Han Solo? I remember a little bit out of it. It was kind of fun.
I barely remember.
I remember
Solo. Solo.
Or you mean the character Han Solo? Okay.
No, Solo. It was kind of fun.
I don't know, man. I kind of like seeing what's his name, Childish Gambino as Lando, but I
like the poker stuff they did. I like the part where I like the poker scenes. Those are pretty cool. I will give them that.
It was weird. Not the greatest movie. I guess like the original director quit like halfway through, so they had to like
a movie. It's certainly a movie that exists. That's why I love that Morbius came out, because people started using that. That's a movie that exists. I love it. Oh, I'm sleeping, man.
The big standout for Solo for me was what's her face, the one that was in Willow and Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the black chick with the red hair. That's the only thing that really stands out. Is I forgot how Disbrew calls her.
I remember Woody Harrelson being a part of Solo. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few things I liked in it. It was kind of a fun space adventure movie. I won't call it great or anything. It's just really forgettable, honestly.
I didn't hate it. I don't understand that I hated God, but it wasn't that great of a movie. It was all right. I'll watch it from time to time.
I'll put it on as like a Netflix and chill movie with the girl I'm going to have over later on,
Yeah, chicks turn on with Star Wars.
Right, Tiny? Chicks dig the lightsaber.
Show him that Manny Jacinto scene.
Yeah. I've only ever dated one girl my entire life who was actually into Star Wars. Every other one thought it was stupid or never heard of it.
Average girl. Most girls think nerd stuff is stupid.
But wait, Most of my friends have married have married women who like love Star Wars. I'm like, where the fuck are all these?
Where are these women at? Like, I
Right.
know people say there's a lot that like it. Where are they at? Or are they hiding it? To be fair, girls can hide it very well. Girls might be ashamed that they like this stuff. I don't know. It's my social stigmas and all that stuff. You know.
I never gave two shits.
See, damn. See, Tiny. What about that marriage thing where you said you were gonna do something in the highway that these guys should know about?
What?
Why do you keep making this shit up? It's
What?
the same story, but you make it like different each time.
You said to spice things up.
What the Gray?
Yeah, I
Does he
don't
not do
remember
this
any of
every
this.
time?
He
What did I
does.
do?
It's his thing.
I'm
I didn't
lost.
do anything. See, she's crazy, guys.
I'm
Cancel her.
lost.
Get her away.
He claims that he asked me to marry him, and I said I'd rather die on the highway.
Alright,
None of it ever
now.
happened, and he's told the story 6 different ways, like a billion
No,
times.
society said
I mean,
it.
it is
You
somewhat
blamed the wrong black
believable, though.
guy. Society said it. You laughed and you endorsed it. That's what happened.
I remember now. Yeah.
There's not an endorsement of anything except that I thought it was a funny statement.
Oh my god. Jeez. Where's my Padawan women at?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You know? Hey,
Oh,
to be fair,
sorry. I'm wrong. I did date one woman who was a huge Star Wars fanatic like me, but she dumped me to go back to her shitty piece of shit boyfriend
that
who hated
that
all
Leia
things, who hates all nerd things.
that Leia cosplay is great. I don't care if people say, well, people, I think who gives a fuck? I like seeing hot women in nice things. I'm good with it. Give us a nice representation of an outfit we'll have for generations. What else happened here?
So you watch Doomcock. He reported today that there was a meeting at Lucasfilm, and Filoni said, "Hey, a meeting to fix Star Wars." And Filoni supposedly came out with, "Hey, let's do Clone Wars but live action. Let's redo the whole show, but do it live action."
Are you serious?
I don't think anybody wants to see that shit.
Do you really have any ideas at all anymore?
And most of the people, Doomcock and people who had heard it were saying, why would people want to see something that they already know what's going to happen, that you're going to change every character and everybody's agenda?
Why not?
This?
This is what they could do. I know they're not going to do it. There's plenty of Star Wars stuff that I've been looking into. I'm not even kidding. I've even bought comic books based around this stuff. I bought one for the Epic Collection for the New Republic that takes place after Return of the Jedi. There's all types of stories based around stuff like after the prequel trilogy, before the original trilogy. There's stuff after the original trilogy.
Like Rogue One?
Yeah. This is the first time we've seen the High Republic, and it's the end of it. Like, we've never seen it at its
Isn't the
prime.
one about air pilots and stuff like that? There's a bunch of stuff there. There is so much stuff there from comics that you get. There's Darth Vader comics that are honestly really great that I have. They can make stories out of that.
They're taking some of that into this. There is that whole thing, like Vader's last mission from the comics is he has to kill somebody without using his saber, and then he has to bleed the crystal. You know, they may go into that in a really bad way in this show.
They have actual ideas people would invest into. I doubt they would watch as much anymore because the viewership is not that much there. But they keep saying that, like, I know what video you're talking about. I saw that and I was like, either A, why not just make another season, better animation? I know the animation that show was in, it looked ugly as hell, so I didn't watch it back then. You know, when it was on Toonami at the time. Was Toonami? Yeah, it was Toonami or Cartoon Network at the time. It just looks ugly. Make stuff like that people care for. What difference is it making being live action? That's remember the argument conversation we had a while ago? People not valuing animation. The animation show is already beloved and liked. What possible difference could you get out of putting in a live action? There is just a waste of money.
Maybe we could take the heart out of it, though.
Take their hearts
know.
out. The heart's already been out, Gray.
Because the audience they want to attract doesn't like animation. They think it was going to attract in the audience that doesn't like animation. That's the reasoning. That would probably be the reasoning behind it.
Man. Can I even play the scene on? I don't know if I can play this for not get copyright claimed. I think I can. It's not having any music in it. I think I put it on my Twitter page last night. Tiny, how you doing? You haven't been here in a long time. You left me.
I wasn't online with anybody for a week or two.
You were here this Saturday.
That was the first thing I've done back in almost 2 weeks.
So I was your first choice back in a while?
begged you not to, but you did it anyway.
It's good to know I'm always Tiny's first voice.
What?
One sec. So as you guys know, we weren't really that enthusiastic about Kevin Conroy's Batman final performance in Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. But as we know, it was revealed after people know it was revealed afterwards that wasn't his actual last voice acting gig. He had did a few others. This was one of them that came out yesterday because the DC animated universe is going to be wrapping up with the Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, which is dropping. Keep in mind, I haven't watched any of these in a long time. The very last one that I watched was Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. If you guys know, I love that story from comic books. Movies did a job, let's just say. Let's say about that. God, fuck. So Kevin Conroy actually did his. I think this is his last exact voice acting. But I thought this scene was great, honestly.
Oh, this is freaking badass, man.
This was really good, honestly.
This is badass.
And I'm not gonna say I cried because this is the first anything super related I ever watched in my life that made me get into loving superheroes. I'm like, it gets better every single time. And the reason why the Suicide Squad one is much worse is because that's just that is such a horrible way of treating a main flagship character that started this shit. You know, it is Kill the Justice League, I guess, to that degree, but that's just a shitty way of killing off the character that got you to this point anyway. You don't have a Suicide Squad game if you don't have the original Arkham games first, but I digress. Here is the other part. Now,
well, the Suicide Squad comics existed long before that.
Yeah. What else want to say? Fuck. Oh, Iron mentioned what were they doing with this universe? They're because James Gunn had mentioned they're going to have animation, TV, and movies all in under one shared universe. So I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this movie. Are they going to put I imagine the good guys are going to win. They're going to put the universes back, and then whatever's going to happen. Usually happens with this kind of storyline. But this was just great. Honestly, this was really good. Volume up. Audio is here. All right, give me 1 second.
Yes.
Animation looks great.
Is that Mark Hamill?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
I must say, Batsy, I'm flattered. The end of the world, and you want to spend it with me? I didn't know you cared.
Ugh.
I care, Joker. About Gotham. About justice. And if it has to end, at least I go out like this. Being Batman.
Yeah. Come on. That is so fucking good, man. That is potentially his last ever voice acting for Batman. Ends off with him being Batman.
As the world ends.
As the world ends. Staying with Gotham to the very end, man. So I hope in that movie I'm not imagining they're gonna put everything back. They're gonna beat the Anti-Monitor. But man, that was so good. That was just so amazing. That hell of a lot better of an ending of your legacy than as your bad stand-up routine. Fucking hell.
I wish he would have recorded enough for AI to make his voice and stuff.
You know what sucks, man?
He definitely has. It would kind of suck and kind of be disrespectful to his estate, but hopefully.
Well, I mean, give permission to do it. How Marvel is recasted Ross, and Chadwick Boseman gave them, hey, please recast Black Panther. Give the permission. I wish he would have given permission for that.
Yeah, you know what for me sucks is you see the updated animation of the Batman animated series. I hope he had stayed alive so they could do the Batman Adventures continues from the comics to an animated series, with the same creative team they had back then. But then I realized it couldn't have hit the same way because a lot of those guys have passed away. The voice actor of Two-Face is dead. Harley Quinn voice actors passed away. They would have to have do different voice actors. That is my own. Yeah. Two-Face, Harley Quinn, and Batman all are gone. Yeah.
I knew Batman and Two-Face. I know Harley Quinn died.
Harley Quinn, yeah, the original lady portrayed
The
Harley
original
Quinn.
one, yeah.
Yeah, she's gone. So
Oh,
it sucks we can't ever get a animated adventures cartoon series. But as you guys know, Hollywood loves to milk the nostalgia member berries. But no, I've just seen it's great, man. Like people are gonna. That's how I got into superhero stuff. So I watched that show for the first time and just absolutely fell in love with it. And after that was a Superman animated series, which I also really, really enjoyed too. But yeah, man, seeing that for potentially his last voice acting work, that kind of line chills, just certified banger, man. Hell yeah, fucking hell. Better than that. Your bad stand-up routine. Oh, so cringe. Fuck that game. Holy shit, man. Well, yeah. Now we just have Tiny, and now she left me.
what?
What?
That's what I've been
Oh, that's
doing.
really cool.
I can't sit still.
Is it like a lure, like for fishing or something?
No, it's that pick with the floss I told you about. I was just
No. But it's like, what are you turning it into?
I don't know. Sword? I don't fucking know. I'm just doing shit.
Oh, do with the Mark Hamill thing you said. Mark Hamill said he's not going to voice the Joker unless Kevin Conroy does it. Because he always
did
that.
shit anyway about him. So
Because he had said every time they'd ask him to do voice acting work for the Joker, he would always ask if Kevin's going to do Batman. But then again, I don't think Mark Hamill. That guy's a piece of shit. This guy is more. This guy thinks about Trump more than actual Trump supporters do. I swear, this man is beyond Trump derangement at this point. God, Mark Hamill would have been celebrating if Trump was dead right now. He says that there's no place for violence in politics, but I doubt that would have been his stance if Trump had actually died.
Walter, absolutely, bud.
He's a good Joker, though.
Yeah. I always separate artists from art, no matter what it is. Even with Mr. Mark Wade,
I can't.
Even with him, I do because
I wish I could. I wish I could separate, but I can't.
I wish I could. Man, it's
I
actually
wish I
easier.
could too, but I just can't get that same enjoyment up from Cosby like MSK can.
No.
I'm just pointing out that it's much easier for me to believe you know how to do your job versus what you are as an actual person. That's what that's what we did back in the day. We didn't know who these people were. It's just I'll just do that for some people where it's like, yeah, I'll just only consume your work and not ever look up anything you have to say as far as politic wise because you're an idiot. Let me bring this up really quickly. Do you guys think I've had a lot of women around me lately giving me money?
Never. Definitely not that either.
Interesting. Do you guys think that I'm hot, rich, sexy, and good looking?
Yes.
No.
So she just laughs at that. She endorses it.
Don't fucking judge me.
How many times do I have to say laughter is not an endorsement or a denial or anything else? It's just laughter.
Allegedly.
It's just the response that you elicit.
Hey, laughter got me laid in high school, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, women love to laugh, contrary to popular belief.
That is true.
So if you get women to laugh, you get inside their pants.
Yep. I didn't abuse it, but I mean, I knew that was my move to get a chick interested in me. I'd make her laugh.
It's so hard to do, man. Like, I don't even talk. I'll be honest here. Oh, wait. That probably shouldn't have said it that way. Oh gosh. I don't really talk to. I don't talk to most people in my life, honestly. I mostly just.
No, we hear you. You don't talk to women.
Yeah, I mostly just come on here and talk to you guys, honestly, or talk in the group chat or whatever. I don't really have a life where I could just meet a whole bunch of women, honestly,
Yeah.
That's the thing
You
is,
got a life, right?
I don't know. I'm not saying women are even bad in my area. It's just not worth it. I'm just more focused on getting money and building up this stuff. It's more, I don't know, it's more attractive to me right now. It's a lot more satisfying, I'll say, Plus, women are a lot of work, Speaking of this one.
Mm-hmm.
She seems
God.
cool.
Thank you, Gray.
Well, that woman's a lot of work. We got to do a lot of stuff to tame her here. She goes off the deep end. We're like, Tiny, we'll pull you back. We got to just pull you back.
All right, so we had our back.
We know you're hot because you keep complaining about the heat in your room.
Oh, it's hot there too? Like in the house?
91 degrees right now. Mm-hmm.
Jesus, is your air conditioning just can't keep up, or you just have it all?
His air conditioner was at his last place. He doesn't have one now.
Oh no,
He
no, I
just got
turned it
the
off
TV
because I don't
now.
want you guys hearing that on the show. Okay,
But we
I'll bring
won't-
this up.
we
Here's what
won't
Mark
hear it.
Wade had said about the Trump
Yeah, you
thing.
can turn it on, sweet pea.
Mr.
We're not
Mark?
going to have a problem with it.
Dude, turn it on, dude. We won't care.
I'm fine. It's not the same. I'm okay.
You have pants on.
I pants. Who? Those are for losers. Tiny wears leggings. Why can't I wear leggings then?
Fair enough.
I'm wearing sweatpants. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's even better, honestly.
I have just a shirt on.
Look,
Me
see,
too.
unlike him who lives inland, I'm lucky. I'm closer to the coast. So for me, it's like 79, 75, something like that.
Thanks for running it in my face.
I live by the coast too. It's 95 fucking degrees.
Different fucking coast.
Maybe I have to check if I'm blocked by Mark Wade. He had said Parade the Shooter was wearing an RFK Jr. t-shirt. The next one says, if you're just tuning in, some fucking idiot with horrible shitty eyesight just clinched the election for Trump. Fuck.
Wow. Fuck him.
He's always been a piece of shit, man.
He has.
God. Am I blocked by this guy? What's his Twitter at? At Mark Wade.
I'm assuming you would
Sky?
be, but
Please be blocked. Fucking hate this guy. At Mark Wade. Was it BS something? Oh my god, ads. Thank you, ads. .bsky. Please be blocked. Please be. Oh god. Did he get off Twitter? I don't fucking know, man.
yeah,
Get the
this is
blue sky for that shit. What the fuck is this? Who's on here? It's not a social media platform.
Everyone who thought that Elon was bad.
Oh my god, man. Oh, it's from Blue Sky. Okay, so that's where they went. This was from July 14th. This was another one. CG has a different kind of name now because
So it's the day after. So,
July
it
14th?
makes sense. Everything's cooled down when he was in a much better mind state and then tweeted this.
He said, because right-wing lunatics and Comicsgate incels have made a campaign today of sickly twisting my condolences about yesterday's tragedy into claims that I cheer political violence. I have deleted my posts. I will not give them any fuel.
Fucking twist! Good God!
He's not going to give you the satisfaction, so he deleted it.
Oh god. Okay, Mark. So if they weren't that bad, why'd you delete them then? You fucking retard. Oh, how does this guy write comics in a decent way that people like them, but things like this in real life? This blows my complete mind. For spreading their disgusting lies. Mark, if you had never said anything, no one would twist anything. I'm done. No, it's not worth it. This is what he said a while ago. This was for the whole right-wing thing. He'd rather see the industry burn or some bullshit like that. I think a lot of us would just rather see the industry burn down than get together with the alt-right. I know I would.
Wow.
Sorry. And I call bullshit on anyone who tries to highlight the issues gets piled on. I think it's far more accurate to say anyone who wants to blame everything on social justice warriors gets piled on, or anyone who wants to complain that their favorite characters are being written as political mouthpiece, but can't provide any examples of this being piled on. The guy, first of all, I was there. People gave him examples. He put the whole ears in his fingers in his ear and just pretended none of that happened. What?
Speaking of weird comics, you
Such
saw the
stupid
trailer for Umbrella Academy season 4 today?
You still watch that?
Yeah, man. I fucking love Umbrella Academy.
I know. I never watched that, honestly.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
I like it. It's it's got it's the message, but it's still good. I do have to say though, Paige's voice sounds really fucking weird. All deep.
It does have MSK's favorite guy in it, right?
Yeah, true.
Oh god,
sounds very very mannish, and it just sounds weird. It doesn't fit.
All right, we'll go over the one Matt Walsh tweet before we head out of here in a little bit because I get up for work in the morning. I know Tiny wants to leave me. She left me.
It's always a part I hate, man. Get ready to leave. I like talking.
I was
to people.
answering a question.
Tiny, I'm putting out my narratives. Let me do these things.
No.
God damn. Okay. God, I can't even see where's the original tweet? Okay, so I'm gonna go find it right now. Matt Walsh is trending, blah 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 blah. Okay.
It works as a sword.
Okay, here we go. I found it. Picture of the person. Yes, yesterday. All right. So there's a series of these. We'll try and go down them as much as we can. Obviously, this is at the Amber Rose thing. RNC thing, as you guys know, said Trump has just reached mythic status by defying death and surviving an assassination attempt, and the GOP decides that the best next move is to have him sit and listen to a porn star talk about diversity. Brilliant move. Thanks, guys.
You don't think he had any approval of this shit? I'm not agreeing with Matt Walsh. I'm just saying Trump knew who was coming. He knew who was going to be put up there. He knew what they were going to talk about. And if he has no problem with it, the fuck does anybody else have a problem with it for?
Yep.
Thanks, Grace. I'm fucking with it. It's just
said you guys can get mad at me for saying it, but the first day of the convention was totally absurd and had a very bad omen of things to come. Trump has never had more momentum or goodwill, and the RNC decided to use that to push a message of diversity and inclusion rather than using it to advance anything resembling a conservative agenda. I call it as I see it, and that's what I saw.
That's because he's blind.
Jeremy said, your way of thinking is why conservatives have lost so many times. Most people are laughing at you. You're the same person that thought this DeSantis was actually going to beat Trump in the primaries. Melania Max said, you were right. Stand your ground. Degeneracy and DEI to own the libs is absurd.
I don't know, though. If she believes it and came around, I don't know. Who cares? Like, isn't there forgiveness or whatever? Is she still doing the slut walk right now? Or is that a thing of the past?
So what if she is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm for it.
She's doing her thing.
You're not supposed to. I'm sorry. Aren't the Christians the ones that say judge not yet lest ye be judged? Like, isn't that y'all guys? Because that was definitely not my. That was not my book. That was not my book. My book is lots of judging.
That was not my book. My book is different. Matt Walsh said, some thoughts on this Amber Rose thing, since it's apparently extremely controversial to say that the Republican shouldn't give a prime time convention speaking slot to one of its founders of the slut walk. First of all, there's 3 paragraphs in this? Oh my, okay, whatever. We're going on a rabbit hole.
I don't read that shit.
I know that's 3 more than you're used to reading.
Let's go. Paragraphs.
No, can we not? Can we just not? No. I don't want to hear freaking 4 paragraphs of his bullshit.
Lady, can we have fun? All right.
Fine, whatever. Fine.
Can I get hugs? Can I get some loving?
You know you'll never get a hug.
Why do you ask for things that are impossible all the time?
I could just instant transmission there. I'll just
really? Let's see it. All right, Goku.
All right. Where's the window? They're locked.
So Walsh says, first of all, maybe Rose has totally changed and had some kind of conversion experience. There's no evidence of that, only that she likes Donald Trump now. There are many, many, many examples of conservatives rallying around their new celebrity hero just because the person likes Trump, only to be humiliated and betrayed by the same person shortly after. This has happened countless times. I've called it ahead of time in nearly every case and been screamed at by conservatives the way you all are screaming at me now. Hopefully, this is the first time I'll be wrong about something. Likely this is, but I highly doubt it.
Dude, this happened with that Nala situation. Remember that one? That happened a few months ago?
Yeah.
I wonder what she's done in that time. All right, I'll try to go down these really fast. I don't have to go down too much of this. He says, first of all, maybe Rose has
Hey, I just read that, man. You can go with the second.
I read all of that.
Oh, he did?
Are you not paying attention?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know you don't understand words,
nothing. Second, even if there's second, even if there has been some kind of conversion, that doesn't mean you take someone who has been a conservative for 42 seconds and turn them into a mouthpiece for your movement.
Why not?
Again, how many times do we need to learn this lesson?
7 times.
7 times is too many. A person who has been wrong about everything.
Okay, I'm sorry. The more I read of this, all this seems like he's so fucking jealous that he didn't get asked to speak.
Yep.
This all is cope.
Mhm.
Every single piece of this is, well, even if she's this, then she doesn't deserve it. Even if she's that, then she doesn't deserve it. And why did you give the time to her? And why wasn't someone else given the time? And dude, stop crying like a prissy little bitch.
Third, just to give you an idea of how new Rose's conversion is, if there has been one at all, it was just this past March that she praised the Satanic Temple for helping a lot of people by making sure they get abortions. That was March.
They do actually do
year.
some public outreach. Like, it is weird because you think Satanic Temple, like, they're actually like worshiping Satan. They're not, but they do actually give a lot of help to the homeless and shit. It's weird, and it seems counterproductive to go with that label, but fair enough.
And I'm sorry, there are a lot of women that have been told their entire lives that abortions are their right and that abortions are important for their health and their independence and their liberty. Sorry, none of you guys were a girl. You weren't getting this shoved down your throat since you were in middle school. And a lot of women have. Now, my family talks about these things. A lot of families don't, especially if you grew up in an area that's more like a hood. People don't talk about why that might not be okay or might not be good. And if you're not going to the local Baptist church, you ain't hearing it from anybody.
It's true.
So the fact that she praised a group for helping women get abortions who wanted to get abortions, I don't think that's personally right. I understand why other conservatives might think that's personally right, but we have no idea what she was thinking when she said that. We have not asked her about the context of that.
Yeah.
Well, and how many different ideas need to be agreed on for them to still not be in your camp?
All of
Someone
them.
support you even if you don't agree on everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I brought up in the group chat. Like, I'm not saying we had any. I'm not saying we had any problems with the group chat. I'm saying that's what we were talking about in the group chat. Is like everyone has to just be under this like one unified way of thinking, and like that's just not gonna be applicable for everyone's different walk of life. You know, I have different looks on abortion. Probably would surprise a lot of people, but I will say this. I don't know what her situation was to talk about that. You know, but what people don't understand is like, you know, given how kids have been treated by a lot of these parents recently with a really bad situation we've heard about, I'm just saying, like, it was probably a terrible idea to bring that kid into the world when some of these parents been keeping their kids in cages.
Hey,
you know?
I've had to go into so many houses that I felt horrible that a kid was brought into this world to live in.
Yeah,
that I get it.
I'm not saying like abortions are right or wrong. It really just depends on how you look at it. I'm saying, to be honest here, not everyone deserves to be a parent. Not everyone's ready to be a parent.
It's not black and white.
Yeah, it's not as black and white as everyone says. Like Darnell says, it's you agree with murder. It's like not every person deserves to be a parent. They just don't. That's just how it is. Sorry, that sounds kind of fucked up, but as this is, you know, bring a child to the world. The child lives a miserable life and it does bad shit. Well, that's kind of the parent's problem. That's another discussion for another day. We'll do that later. Of this year,
but he goes further than that. He's saying that was March of this year. She's not even pretended to disavow this. So isn't that what everyone was getting pissed off about? That you're making everybody disavow everything now?
Go ahead.
I don't know. She seems to be supporting Trump and saying, hey, I was wrong about this. That's pretty awesome. I think that's more than most.
Yep.
If it is outrageous and offensive to suggest that a person such as this is perhaps not fit to be a primetime Republican speaker, then conservatism as a movement is even worse shaped than I thought. In conclusion, come on, guys. What the hell? This guy's probably making so much money off these tweets. 2 million fucking views. Oh my god, that's a lot of Skrilla right there. Oh, it's just, you know, it's crazy to see someone so intelligent just say things like that, which is out any level of understanding nuance in people's lives. You know, I don't think these people are stupid. I don't think someone like Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro are stupid. I don't think that for a second. It's just like, are you in touch with the real world? Actually,
no.
And Matt Walsh kind of comes from the shock jock radio background, so I don't know. He's looking for attention. He's getting it, man.
I can tell you, I've seen a lot less of his posts on YouTube. So yeah, he's probably getting less
Support.
What's the word I'm looking for? He's not getting as much
Traction?
reach as he did before, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
trying to drum
'Cause,
up,
like, that-
drama.
That's what we brought up when we were talking just a second ago. It's like everyone, unless you think this way and agree with all of us on this, then that means you're not this. And it's like, are we not allowed to have different ways we can come to the same conclusion? Like, it
No.
just has to be that way. Like,
Yes.
God.
When are you gonna understand that?
By definition, he seems like he shouldn't want any undecided voters because they're not true conservatives. And it's like, what he could do, what people could do with the platforms is that big, and he has a really big one, is just educate people on potentially why you should be on this lane of thinking than that lane of thinking. That's
You're
another way
already in this camp. Why not, gently nudge towards your direction in that camp? But he's going a different direction. He's gatekeeping within his camp. You can't even be part of this.
If she really did turn, well, how about I don't know if she really is true and thorough
that's
with
the
it.
bad type of gatekeeping.
Yeah, I can't judge her on that. I don't know if she's really true or thorough with this. She would have to do actions to prove otherwise, like, many of them. Maybe kind of show people, hey, she thought, the main thing she said was, I thought this one way. I looked into why it wasn't true, and then I have a different viewpoint. Well, that's what more people need to come to. It's like, you probably have been lied to, It's just what it is. But I think shaming people because they didn't go to church and any of that fucking nonsense is just so stupid. It's like, if you judge people because they didn't go to church or have a religious background in your life, you'll be meeting a lot of less people. Just pointing it out there. You will have literally no friends. Not a lot of people go to church or value religion. Depending on
the
where
women I met when I was dating, when they find out I have a different belief system than them, it's like shut down. I got nothing to say to you anymore. It's like, you're supposed to be open-minded to
accepting,
and be respectful of me. I'm being respectful of you. You're treating me like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter's right. She doesn't prove shit. She's supporting the cause she believes in. That's all you need to care about.
Her actions should prove that. I told people before, it doesn't matter what she says. Her actions have to prove it. I don't know why people keep flipping that so much. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry, she's someone who part of her brand, part of her whole thing is her sexuality. And she dressed very conservatively to go to this thing and try to show respect for people. She didn't use it to push her own shit. She didn't wear her stuff. She didn't push her things. She looked very, very nice, but very conservative, especially for her.
Yeah, which is huge. But what is it that she owes them other than, essentially voting for Trump?
She owes them nothing. Not even nothing. Not even anything.
Yeah.
So that reminded me of something. This whole thing reminded me of something. That's what I wanted to talk about. The Tenacious D thing. I thought I would like to talk about that.
I love me some D, man.
I love
it's
D.
weird.
Yeah, I love Dick Grayson. I love
the D. I love the
man.
Tenacious D. They
I'm
were a great band, man.
I'm a massive Jack Black fan. I know. I watched ESPN when Tenacious did the phrase Tenacious D was coined, but that was some dog shit what they did.
Can I ask you, did you ever used to watch their HBO show?
I didn't, because I didn't have HBO, but I went to a concert.
Seen their sketch Time Fixers?
Which one?
It's called Time Fixers. So Time Fixers. It's on their Masterworks DVD that you can get, but it was a short that they did on HBO. Literally the whole thing is they get a time machine, so they go back in time and they prevent Lincoln from getting assassinated. But because they did that, it fucks up the world. So they realize that they got to go back and convince him to get shot. They kind of have a history of joking about this. So I don't know. I feel hypocritical saying they can't make this joke when I've laughed at them making a presidential assassination joke before.
I'm the same way. But what makes it for me not okay is Jack Black's appearance at the Democratic thing last month, and just the things that aren't jokes that they're saying, social media or wherever. I'm a firm believer that everything is on the table to be laughed at. Everything can be funny, and everything is funny. source of a lot of fights between me and my dad. He gets pissed off when I laugh at shit. I'm like, Dad, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely a coping mechanism for a lot of people, and
all
it
the
is the
Jack
way that
Black
they deal
stuff.
with tragedy and pain.
Yeah.
No,
So-
I went to see them live one time, and dude, the one of my favorite parts was the clips they play in between the songs.
So the
Like
Trump
on the
part
show.
that people want to latch onto it's weird because people were very mad that Netflix or whoever was involved with that was trying to cancel Dave Chappelle for his comments against trans people, because people say, well, freedom of speech, that means comedy is something. People always would say that like comedy is getting attacked because of how people are now. Well, if we're going to use that by a consistent line of logic, which I mean, you guys know what I just said earlier, that's very depending on what the situation is, then that shouldn't be anything bad though if that's comedy. If he's saying that for a joke and that was said for a joke, then I mean, people laugh at that stuff, you know? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if people are gonna keep Dave Chappelle on and other people on and saying that we need comedy, then why is that not allowed? You know?
Well, and like I said, for me and a lot of people I talk to has the same thought process. Chappelle, when they're not making comedy, they're very clearly on a side, and I don't remember hearing them make any kind of jokes when Biden was falling upstairs or shitting his pants in France
Well,
for the D-Day thing.
Along those lines, okay,
It-
so if it's too soon or if it's in bad taste to mock like this, situation, especially when it's like the day after, if this is, like the worst medical condition that Biden has ever gone through, is it too soon or is it in poor taste to mock him and like his possible failing mental status?
No, make fun of make fun of everybody. Make fun of both sides. You're gonna make fun of one, make fun of the other.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like if it was like a random podcast they did it in, that's pretty fucked up. But if it's in a comedy show or a band or whatever the fuck it was,
I watched the video. It
Like,
wasn't for comedy. I'm sorry. It
Yeah.
wasn't for comedy. It wasn't.
Yeah. It looks
Kind of
very
is. Like,
I
so
didn't
it's the end of one of their sets where they end up getting like granted a wish from the metal monster thing. Like it's awesome. Like I've seen them do a whole bunch of different jokes there, and then they usually get to throw in like one line for one thing that they would have wished. I don't know. Well, I don't think it's in good taste. It was obviously a joke. I mean,
See, I don't
think
think
he's.
it's a joke. I'm a massive Jack Black fan. I want to believe it's a joke.
Yeah, but it was Kyle Gass that said it. It wasn't
him.
even Jack
Yeah,
Black.
I
had
know.
asked
Well, I'm a
one of
huge
his
Kyle Gass fan too. I want to believe it's a joke. But
Yeah,
I watched it.
I'm just saying, man, like watch Time Fixers. Like why I feel hypocritical on this is like I have literally laughed at them making a presidential assassination joke before, and I think they do it so tastefully and so funny. Like they're both just like waiting to hear the shot, and it's like, okay, everything's fixed. It's gone back to the way that it was and the way that it should be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like when I then hear him make that joke, it's like, all right, it kind of harkens back to something that they're kind of known for. I think it was like 2006. So we're talking what, like 17 years ago or something.
Yeah. God damn.
So it's a ways away, but I don't know. Like I worry about who would get to decide what is too soon or what is over the line. So I gotta say the South Park rule, like everything is cool or nothing is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people have this weird way. I tell people that's why morals and principles are kind of weird and wishy-washy on certain things, because you could always go up to someone and be like, well, you accepted that, so why is this not okay? That's the part about where morals and principles start getting really up and down, because if you're going to be thoroughly consistent on one thing, then it has to be all the way through. That's why I've always lived with each thing requires a different level of conversation with it, because everything has the same level of standings on it, honestly. What's this? I think having jokes that's biased to your set of beliefs is no different than you just making certain genre of jokes. You have to keep in mind that comedians play to their demographic as well. I prefer my comedians to knock both political sides, but I'm not knocking them if they only focus on one side.
For sure. And you're going to alienate the other side by focusing on one, for sure.
And that's my most of the time when a comedian does pick on one side and not focus on one side, it's a reflection of their beliefs. And I'm one who has trouble separating human from a character.
We all do to some extent.
Was that?
I think we all do to some extent, you know.
Yeah, like if I know you're there, like Mark Hamill, if I know you're this type of person, all of your roles that I loved now have a tarnishment. It's tarnished to me.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah, and that's just your way of looking at stuff, which is fine. I
Yeah.
think what a lot of people don't do is they're like, well, I look at it this way, now you have to. And it's like, who the fuck are you? I gotta look at shit the way you look at it. Yeah, you know?
Like Walter, look, I get where you're coming from, bro. It's awesome that's awesome. I don't expect anybody to look at things the way I do. This is me.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. I'm about to hit 600 followers on Twitter. I'm 3 followers away. Gaining more clout. I'll beat Tiny very soon.
So your card went through? You were able to buy those new followers?
No, I can't beat Tiny. She is like triple. God, man.
How many away are you?
Tiny? Like
no,
800.
How away from 600 are you?
Oh, no, I'm 3 followers away from hitting 600. I'm not getting suspended ever again. I'm reformed and on my best behavior, actually.
And
I'm a good guy.
1 away. You're 2 away.
Oh, gosh. Awesome. There we go. Oh, who's that hot guy? Yeah, that's the thing is, I like having these kind of conversations because they, open a broader way of looking at stuff than, do people just believe what YouTubers say? That's true, but there's also a level to having that opinion is like, when you get big enough, people just kind of believe you because they think you're credible given your line of track record. And you do have a level of earnestness in that. You do, but I think if enough, I think there should still be that, hey, you might be a content creator that I like, but I'll look at it from my point of view this way, because
can I ask you? I don't think anybody likes the joke that was made, the one that Kyle Gass made. So Jack Black came out and apologized for it, and I believe they also completely canceled the tour.
Yeah,
and Kyle Gass came out
way overreacting, in my opinion, man.
Part of that is Australia, and Australia has very specific hate speech laws, and they were actually getting called by an Australian senator, to be deported.
Right. 2 things, real quick. 1, MSK, check your count now. 2, I think. Well, I shared it in the group. There's a guy that was talking like, hey, for those who have never worked in concert, putting concerts, that would cause like the what they said can cause like massive like a rise in a cost to put the concert on, because now you got to get more security because there's gonna be some kind of shit go down. Now you have to insure more, like insurance on more than you had before. It just
that would suck. You got to protect them from boomerangs and stuff in Australia. I get you.
Got to protect them from those wild kangaroos gonna come up on stage.
Yo, those things are dangerous.
Oh shit!
You check out some videos. Those things are dangerous.
MSK has watched some videos. He likes how jacked they
I
are.
watched like a part of Kangaroo Jack. I heard they're nice. Oh shit! But this is what I also said yesterday, and Flash had said this too. When Trump was shot, there was no riots, no looting, or violence. Compare that to when the left had something happen. They want to burn everything down and kill people. Yeah. Trump got hit. None of that happened.
No.
That happens on that side. Burning cities down, riots. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
there's talk of doing these things, but the difference is the right didn't do that.
Yeah. Now people say, oh, we should have rioted, but it's always that, hey, yeah, man, I should have talked to that girl, versus like, oh yeah, you actually went and did that. Yeah, it's not good. And none of those riots were anything peaceful or anything. Murdered people, they beat people up. Like, no, like, it's crazy, And
it's mostly peaceful riots.
I remember Destiny talking about, oh, well, conservatives were being very mean to minorities and progressives. Good. People were straight up murdering people. I hope it were. Oh, because they were mean to them. Oh, fuck off. Piece of shit. Oh, this person was mean to me on social media. Man, really raise some bitch-made people these days.
Bro, it's the fucking internet. Get over yourself.
They were mean to this lesbian or gay person that I've never met in my life, and I'm going to be mad on their behalf for them. It's like, fuck off. What's wrong with you? I'm struggling to understand the relevance between the examples. One side went and started destroying their own towns, cities, robbing stores, looting, versus this happening and people are mad, right? Obviously, they're mad, but
there wasn't
no,
any. There wasn't any
destruction.
writing, there wasn't any violence and destruction.
Actually, I even know that they did that because there's a subscriber that I have named the Shan, where when that happened in New York, they actually destroyed his liquor store property. The people that were supposed to support that cause when they were looting the streets, you know, all because of some bullshit they didn't even know what really happened for, honestly.
You all right, Darnell?
I just found you a picture of Sting.
I knew you were gonna love that. I knew you were gonna love that. I was trying to decide if I was just gonna put it out publicly or I was gonna put it specifically in the Lestrade.
That's great.
No.
That's fucking great.
Oh god, just a bunch of people getting fired for saying the shooter missed. People like, I think Nina had said like, oh well, should we be celebrating that people are getting fired for saying the shooter missed? Like, celebrating what? This is the consequences of your action. You know, you can have freedom of speech, but like those aren't
though? Like, there's no way he was shooting for the ear, right? Like, we can agree he missed.
No, there are diagrams that if Trump hadn't moved his head less than 4
Literally
seconds earlier, it would have gone straight through the backs of his side into the back of his skull.
That guy wasn't aiming for
sure.
He was trying to kill him.
Yeah, and I don't think that people who are saying vile, horrible things should get away with saying vile, horrible things and not have people be like, yo, this isn't right. This isn't good. We don't like what you're doing. But I'm still not 100% sure we should be finding every person who says everything we don't like and contacting the company they work for and being like, by the way, this person works for you. They're hateful. They're horrible. You should fire them right now. I'm like,
For sure. Disagree. Unfollow them. But you know, like you were saying with the ACLU in Skokie. You know, like they said that these guys should have the right to say this horrible shit. I think it's kind of the same thing. Like, it sucks that they're saying it, but they got a right to.
Yeah, they do. You do.
No, but I mean, the same thing is that in Skokie, though, everyone who marched, like, people had contacted the companies they worked for and being like, are these people still going to be hired by you? And some of them weren't, some of them weren't. So, I mean, the one thing I will give MSK that he said tonight many times is it's complicated and context matters. And even if you're a free speech supremacist, there's certain things that it can be very hard to stand up and say, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Did she just say my opinions are bad?
No, I just said you were right, dumbass.
Oh, God.
Damn.
If I ever do that again.
God. Oh, God. I'm going to let you have it on Saturday. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She did it again, but it's okay. It's okay. It's just, okay. But I will say this. I know people complain about that, and it's warranted. I don't think you should be going after someone. But, you know, I don't think holistically, if you're looking at it from an ideal sense, that people should lose their lives because they said something on social media. That really does sound kind of fucking stupid. But this was perpetuated by certain individuals to make that happen in the first place. Keep in mind, if this had never happened and in general, to get rid of people out of businesses or their jobs because they said something on social media you didn't like, this wouldn't be an applicable thing, right? I don't know which side directly started that. That's something you have to dig in the history for. It's pretty hard to remember which one really started, but it doesn't matter, right? The fact that it is a thing is stupid in general because, like, that means if I said black people are trash and one of you retweeted it, you could lose your job. That's stupid. That really does sound fucking stupid. Is it not?
I used to get told, I'm sorry, no, I was told that I had to pull down all my videos on my YouTube channel that I made because because the sheriff found out about them, saw them, and said he didn't like them.
Wow.
I was forced to take them down.
Well, one was the George Floyd thing versus one guy almost getting assassinated. You know, they're not exactly, the situations themselves aren't exactly comparable, but the outcomes are what you can judge, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I got what you were saying with that. You weren't saying it's the same situation, but just a reaction to them were totally different.
Reactions were totally different. Like burning down people's fucking cities and work businesses, like what? You know, whatever. It's fine. Got what I'm saying. But Tiny, oh God, why do you have to be such a cougar?
What?
God.
Where did that even come from?
Nina Infinity.
I'm glad he censored himself to say cougar, but still.
I'm gonna say call her a Jew. She already knows that. I ain't telling her anything she already doesn't know. Lord. She said, seeing a lot of conservatives promoting doxing and canceling people and justifying it as the other side does it. That's not how principles and morals work. Although, I said earlier, morals and principles are whoever's going to have them is going to have different ones of them, I guess. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Don't go all flamingo on us, all right?
Wait. Time out. This thing she's two wrongs don't make it right. So she is admitting canceling people and doxing is wrong.
Yes.
That their side's doing it. You're saying your side's doing wrong shit.
Yeah, she's saying her side, our side, her side is saying things that are not right.
But she's saying like the conservatives promoting doxing and canceling, that two wrongs don't make it right. So you're admitting it's something wrong to do, but your side is doing it.
Yeah, that's what
so,
she's saying.
Yeah, I think both those equal out, right? So that's the portion is like, yeah, I guess two wrongs don't make it right, but one side doesn't care if they're doing it. That's what I brought up earlier. Why should I care if that's what they're doing?
And like, I know in the group chat I've said, like, hey, y'all letting these people live in your head rent free, or y'all talking about this ad nauseum.
Finally,
that's different. That's way different than something like this. Like,
yeah,
meeting someone's level of what they're doing is normal and acceptable.
Yeah,
but like certain things is just, I guess it's also subjective. But like certain things, like just going off constantly and having nothing else to say, but like bitching about this one thing. I'm trying to put it like into
saying that you become just like one note. Are you saying you become basically a one note shill on just that? Like just nothing else there?
No, they're not becoming MSK.
Like the stuff I was saying in the group chat months ago, like, hey guys, at this point you're now doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's not a you're meeting them. It's like the thing you're saying they're stupid for doing, you're not doing this stupid thing too.
Mm-hmm.
That's different than this shit.
To me, it's not that I disagree. It's the thing with that is that's like when these aren't exactly comparable, but I guess they bring the same level of sentiment. It's when people bring up like the whole double standard thing. But then if someone already knows that, people already kind of know these things. They're kind of like non-self-explanatory things. They'll say like, well, guys can sleep with a bunch of girls and not get called a whore, but if a girl does it, then they're called a whore. It's like, well, yeah, I don't know what else we can really do about that except talk about it. Something we can change that,
Well, that's a cultural change.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes like 3 years to change a culture.
Oh, good Lord. My thing is, those are just going to be applicable things no matter what the scenario is, That's just good. They're going to be a part of it, and there's not really much you can really do about it, unless you just get away from it entirely, which is, I have clout, so I need to, be all in here. If you're going to give me, if you're going to ask me for examples, I've seen libs of TikTok literally post people's jobs to get them fired for saying stupid shit about Trump. Are we really going to do this? Isn't that what they were doing? Isn't that what they were doing during COVID? Or people saying it's good Jack Black's talent agency dropped him over a terrible joke. They do it to us. We do it to them. When does this end?
His agency, I thought it was Kyle Gass's agency dropped him.
I'm not too sure about that one, but the agency dropping stuff, I can't speak to that. But I remember something did happen where he canceled the whole thing.
He canceled the whole tour. Well, I say he posted the tour was canceled, and the band essentially is like not together anymore. But I saw after it was Kyle Gass's agency dropped him. I don't know if Jack Black's did too, but I know Kyle's did.
Yeah, what I'm saying
is it a good thing that, again, like the agents that I don't know, it is. So I'm thinking to like the comedy world where like a whole bunch of different comedians, so what got canceled and their agencies dropped them. Like it happened to Tony Hinchcliffe over a perceived Asian insensitive joke. It happened to like a whole bunch of other ones as well. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good thing that like, these people don't like you currently, so we're gone. I don't know. I guess,
Yeah.
you always run that risk if somebody is literally paying to have you represent their company and then you do something controversial. But I don't know. I guess I don't like it. I don't
think that's
like
what
it when
Eric
people
brought
get
up
fired
too.
for that.
Because
I'm with you on that.
I think that's what Eric brought up too, and like I don't know. That's why I think situations need more talking because when you use that word conservatives now, people just think, oh, it's because I don't believe left stuff, or obviously vice versa. That all honestly right there shows. I'm not even saying I don't like this, not like her at all. It's just what she's saying is everyone basically is the same. If you're supposed to be a conservative, you're supposed to act the same. Like that's the inherent crux and problem right there. Not every conservative will act the same or do everything the same in every situation. That's just how it's going to be. And then when you have things like,
and it's harder for us than the left because the whole point of being a conservative is that you believe in personal liberty. You believe in personal. You have the right to your personal opinions. You don't have the right to force them on anyone, but you have the right to have them.
Yeah.
Whereas the left doesn't believe you have a right to a personal opinion. You have to stay in lockstep with the left. So unfortunately, that's actually in some ways our diversity is our strength. I know most of the right don't want to hear that phrase, but the fact that we have so many people from so many different looking at things from so many different points of view that still all want to get back to personal liberty is a strength, but it's also a weakness.
You could also look at it like this too. If they are never, this is the way I look at it, because I'll be honest here, these people wouldn't care if you lived or died. I don't think they deserve the same level of grace. I don't care if it's morally consistent or not. That's gay, stupid shit anyway. If they are never shown that what they're doing has the same consequences as yours, they're never going to stop doing it. So they're never going to stop. I'll say to her tweet, she's not ever going to see this, but it doesn't matter. It's the point I'm trying to make. If they are never shown that what can happen to you can happen to them, they're not going to stop. That's how things stop. If someone is shown something.
I don't know, man. Doesn't that just leave everyone blind doing the eye for an eye thing? Like you did it to me, so now I'm doing it to you.
I agree.
As opposed to just being the bigger man and leading by example.
Ray, that's gay. That's never going to happen.
But
I'm with you.
Like I'm pissed off at Destiny, but like there's a whole bunch of people putting his whole docs information out there.
Oh no, don't do
that's
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
Like what are they trying to do? Like get him assassinated or get people to show up at his house?
No, I don't
that sucks. Yeah. I think definitely unfollow the dude and tell him why he's wrong. But
but
I don't know.
We know, but the thing that goes back to the thing I said earlier, not everyone's gonna handle a situation good or bad in the same way. I agree. It's not something you should do. That's you can call him stupid or retarded, that's fine. But doxing, that's just fucking cringe. Honestly, because me calling you stupid is definitely not the same thing as me wanting you dead. That they're completely not even close to the same thing. What I'm saying is like, if someone isn't shown what they're doing is bad and don't ever suffer consequences for that, that's why I say I'm not really. I kind of just lean towards doing stuff in the middle for the most part, or however the chips may fall. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing that bad people get bad stuff happening to them. It's always usually the good people that have bad stuff happen to them for no reason whatsoever. So I don't care that bad people had bad things happen to them because they would do the exact same thing. Like how many people have that side?
That's the mean. Like, do you think anyone's going to look into what you're saying?
Principles or not? Do you have actual principles or not? Principles
MSK does not. But I mean, wouldn't they do the same thing to MSK that he's doing to them? Like MSK is a bad people.
Even when you don't want to, or you don't think it's right.
Yeah, this is kind of what Tom had said too. This is true, but turning the other cheek is what got us here. That's the same thing too. Is like, oh, it's just one time. It's like this is the thing though. We're not playing the same level of.
I'm not saying turn the other cheek, but I'm saying you don't stop them from being able to speak. You do not punish them for speech.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, sorry. I wasn't saying to you. I was just reading this. It's true, but turning the other cheek is what got us here, and we need to draw a line somewhere. It's a brother Tom. This is on Twitter. No one cares about that stupid shit.
They're turning the other
on
cheek.
Twitter.
They're turning the other cheek and turtling up. They're two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. I think it's more ironic that it's Trump derangement syndrome getting folks canceled when it was those who had TDS who started it. Yeah, like it's not. These aren't just one fits all situations, though. Like because then. How would if someone's doing something bad and it causes you to do the same thing to them that they did to you, how's that person ever going to learn? Do you just, fucking 2 years from now, 3 years, hope that something bad happens to them? I'm saying bad things happen to people. I'm saying is like, how does that person learn their lesson then? You just blindly hope that something happens to them?
They learn a lesson by seeing that you are a bigger person.
Does that teach them though? Because they keep doing it.
Have you ever learned a lesson from history or from television? Something that you haven't directly experienced? Have you learned a lesson from the internet at some point?
If you're learning something from TV, that's probably how we got to this point. Just saying. TV
I'm just saying, you do not only take things into your like knowledge base based off of direct experience. Sometimes you can infer what happened to other people would happen to you. You can extrapolate beyond yourself and learn that, hey, this thing would be a good principle. I don't think you necessarily have to experience it to understand, like, this would be bad, this would be good.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though.
People can learn, MSK. Maybe not you, but people can learn.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, when someone is generally taught the bad of their decisions, so I would say that's me being an optimist. Hopefully that person learns, right? Hopefully they do. You know,
I mean,
but
having seen the same person arrested 15 times for the same thing, sometimes.
Some people are just derangedly crazy. That's just, I agree. Yeah, some people are just fucking insane. But the thing is, like, that's where moral, consistent, and principles start getting really fuzzy, because I generally like to think that if you don't generally show someone what they're doing is bad, they're kind of never just gonna. You hope like 2-3 years on the road they're gonna change. It's like, bro, we ain't got a life to live that long. I ain't trying to fucking put a timer on a thing. I think
why do you care if they ever learn?
What?
Huh?
Why do you care if they ever learn? You keep saying that, well, they'll never learn if we don't such and such. Why do you care if they learn?
Because they would know if they're a bad person.
So?
If they never get consequences for the things that they're doing, then that means they just get to ruin a whole bunch of people's lives, though. I don't think that's kind of good at all, you know? If it happens to them, they probably won't do it anymore. Hopefully, maybe.
So you're hoping to change them for their own benefit?
By their own actions. If they did that action, they wouldn't have gotten in trouble. That's the thing, you know? I love gray areas. They're always fun to talk about. Speaking of gray, he's a bouncing butt right there.
Based. You know, it's a Rorschach test. Is it a butt? Who knows?
It's testicles.
I think that's just your ass.
It could be. You see what you want to see.
You know? Because if we're talking about this stuff, it's like, do we allow punishment for people that got people canceled? Or are they supposed to just like basically, oh, I did it, that's cool, we just move on? I don't know. That's where people can draw the lines however they want to. In my life, you know, how I've lived for a long time, if you don't kind of show people what they're doing wrong, or they don't feed what they're doing is wrong, they're probably not ever going to notice it. You know? That's how average people even function without politics involved.
Have you ever learned that you were wrong on a subject without being punished about it?
Punished as far as what? I'm not talking physical. I'm talking like mental. Maybe you lose friends. Maybe you lost opportunities. It could be many different things. I'm not talking physical punishment. Which people get hurt. You know?
I'm just saying, it seems to go in the face of what you were talking about, this principle thing. Like, if an action is wrong, like the canceling thing, like contacting someone's employer, trying to get them taken out, it seems like even if they've done this before, it would still be wrong to do it to them. I understand the whole concept of turnabout is fair play, but I don't know, man. The whole principle thing would be it's wrong to try and get someone canceled. So even though there's somebody I don't like and they've participated in this, it would still be wrong to get them canceled.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't do it myself, but if it did happen, I wouldn't really care if it's someone that already did it before. Why am I extending any helping hand? That person wouldn't care if it happened to you. Sometimes
that's the whole point of principles.
Yeah.
Sometimes you would never do it. You do the thing for him that they would never do for you. That proves that you have principles, you have a soul, you're a decent human being, and maybe they're not.
Tiny, my soul is dark and rainy.
Which seems to be why you can't understand
we kind of
principles.
No, I understand them. It's just, you know, I think they get really blurred out when it comes to like internet stuff and real life that you potentially lived, you know? Sometimes
that's the whole point. A principle is a principle because it is the same no matter what.
I thought it's because they went to college and got a degree and then applied for the job.
You and your education jokes.
I got it.
No, I'm glad we had this conversation tonight. It's very fun. This is what I was trying to say in the group chat anyway, but it's like, bro, I only got so many characters to say in Twitter, and it's like, bro, I'm not saying all this shit right now to a bunch of people, you know? I'm saying the way I do things is differently from other people. And that's great. Now, it's good to have different levels of conversation depending on what your tolerance level is. I do think it kind of boils down to your level of tolerance to things, you know? That's just kind of how I've had and seen things, you know? Like, I fucking hate when someone does something bad and nothing happens to them. I really don't like that. But that's just my thing.
Too. I absolutely hate that too. But at the same time, just because I hate it doesn't mean it's not what has to be allowed to happen.
Right. And I guess you could say, I'm just a good-looking hot Riz master, right, Tiny?
Nobody says that.
Nobody has ever said that. They've, confirmed that, like, yes, your room is hot, but other than that,
she's lucky it didn't happen when she was like, MSK put out one good opinion the whole night. It's like, oh my god, fuck.
That is not what oh my god.
Julius, you literally said he said one good thing tonight. I was like, oh my god. She's losing me.
Never mind. I am not gonna letting you drag me into this shit again. I am not letting you drag me into this shit. No. I'm done. No.
Okay. Tiny, give me a hug. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to bring up tonight. For the most part, is that really just depends on, do you have principles? Do you have morals? What is your tolerance level with certain situations? Are situations the same to you? Is there right and wrong given situations in your head, depending on what they are? All good things to talk about and go over, because it's fun. Different walks of life call for different types of way you would handle a situation, though. It just does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my way is right, but I'm saying, hey, that's kind of how I've seen things play out. That's how I've kind of seen things work. Others are different.
Yeah.
Also, with Tiny first, we're heading out. I got to get to bed because I work up
No.
5 in the morning. I know people love me, think I'm good looking and hot and rich and all that other stuff and wisdomish, but
Wisdomish?
Why? See, you just did it right there.
I'm just asking.
God.
Is that a word now?
No, I was being entertaining. God damn.
It's like a shaveless man. He likes it.
Oh shit, man. But yeah, Tiny, you got anything planned coming up that you want to let the audience know about?
Well, I will hopefully, barring bad luck or bad management, be on with Jesse tomorrow for the Wednesday night wind down with the Common Nerd. Probably not going to try to make Wrong Think tomorrow night afterwards because I'm been really tired, and they did a Wrong Think tonight, so I don't know if there is one tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Saturday, I'm back with you. And Sunday, the 21st, is the 3rd episode of Jesse and my, or Moxie Dames, or Surly Durly, whichever one you call her, retrospective for Star Trek The Next Generation. So it'll be fun. And this Saturday, hopefully, I will also be healthy enough to finally make a D&D game. But
I was about to give you shit for that if you didn't say something.
Yeah, I can see your face.
Oh god, man, I love it. Oh fucking hell.
I've had some not so good Saturdays lately, so it hasn't really worked out well.
I was gonna talk. She never talks to me about these things. She just doesn't talk to me at all. She just ignores me. Like
I'm sorry, Darnell. How many times have we tried to get this idiot to join us for D&D?
We don't have to talk about just D&D. You know that, right?
He doesn't want to talk about the N, just the D.
She didn't talk to me about anything. She only talks to me on Tuesdays and Saturdays for her clout appointments.
Except that I don't believe in doxing. I would literally bring out DMs from both Twitter and Facebook at this point. Shut up.
Oh god.
Doxing one of those new like sex things that these kids are doing.
She doesn't give me a good morning, a good afternoon. She's just like, hey, you're black. I need to suck your clout off. I'm coming on the show tonight, bitch. Okay. All right. Guess she's coming on.
None of that happened. And I swear to God, someday you will meet my black cousins and they're going to beat your ass.
They're going to be like, yo, bro, what's up, dog? We're going to give each other that black guy stare that they'll know we're cool. We'll see. I'll see you next week, Tiny.
I was mostly talking about the females.
Oh, that sounds kind of hot, honestly. But, because you're gonna go to the thing, right? For Gabe? Okay, yeah. Well, I'll see you then. Don't worry, everyone. We'll take plenty of pictures.
Can you actually send me the info on that? Because I didn't get
an RSVP. What?
I couldn't find the fucking link and everything, but I live here and I've got my chair and I don't think they're gonna fucking kick me out.
I was gonna ask Gabe the same thing for Iron and Selena. I really don't know. I mean, I since he knows us, I really doubt he would. But I don't know how the event works with the owner of that bar or wherever he's gonna be at. Here, I'll give it to you right now. I know the RSVP thing is closed. I thought you guys did it when you asked. I really thought you did.
No, I didn't. It didn't work. Whatever I was trying to do before.
That's
I don't
crazy.
even remember what I did. But if I'm being honest, but like, you know what? I just figured I'm going to be a damsel in distress. I'm going to have my wheelchair, and they're going to be nice to me.
I'll just save you. Well, me and James will be there. We'll save you. Me and James will both take you out for a date, and we'll both buy you dinner and your mom. She can come on as a fourth wheel.
They might
you guys have a
buy
place
that
to
MSK
stay?
as your service animal.
Figured everything out, or are you just going to come and drive back?
No, we RSVP'd. I got the tickets. I did
Are
it.
you
when they
staying
were-
the evening, or are you going back that night?
He asked me the same thing. Well, I'm off Thursday, as you know, so we could literally stay the entire night, then drive back. Or what? You trying to have me stay at your place?
My place doesn't have any room, but I was gonna say if you guys needed a place,
I just sleep on
there's
your
actually
floor.
plenty of room in the front yard. You guys could actually camp out, and then you'd have a kitchen and a bathroom. But there's no room for you to sleep in that apartment. Literally,
camp
it's 450 square feet. There's literally no room.
Why can't I just sleep on your floor in your room?
There's no floor.
You know why?
There's no floor.
Everything's
Dude,
my
levitate?
room, my room is the living room, the dining room, my mother's office, and my bedroom. That's all
Okay.
one tiny little space. And then there's
Oh,
a little hallway, and you go to my mom's bedroom, which doesn't have any space on her floor either. Or you can go in the
hear me
bathroom.
out. Hear me
could
out.
sleep, you and James could sleep in the tub together.
That's kind of hot. Why can't we just sleep on your? Let me do what your cat
There
does.
literally is not enough floor for you to sleep on.
That's crazy. How small is your house?
You know you
400
don't
square
belong in
feet.
the house, sir.
That's crazy, man. Let me on the front. Yeah. She put her cat on the fridge. I can sleep on the fridge.
You can't.
You know
get
you
up on
don't
top of the
deserve
fridge.
house
You're
privileges.
Actually,
not a
that-
cat.
That won't be a good idea because if the cat comes on the fridge and scares me, I'm gonna fall off the fridge.
No, but we have a really nice big frickin' front yard and a giant lemon tree, and you guys could camp out if you needed a
Coming
place
up there
to
with
stay.
us to sleep on the grass.
Come on, dude. Citrus.
Have you
You won't
literally
get
never been
scurvy.
camping? Have you literally never been camping?
Yeah, Tiny, I'm black. We're from the hood. They're camping. You can't afford that shit.
WCZ just said that you're not the friend zone, in the pet zone.
It's so fucked
What
up.
we did for her. I'm like, I'll take you out to a dinner. I'll get you a
So
nice.
wait,
I'll get
So
you
that
nice
means
food.
if
You
you
can sit on
hump
my
a leg,
front
it's
yard.
acceptable because it's acceptable for pets to do that.
All right, other Tiny, we can get you food and dinner. I can take you out for a nice night, but you can also sleep on my front yard. So like, hello?
I don't want you guys driving back that night if you weren't planning to
I don't
stay
know, honestly,
because I
yet.
don't
It's-
want you
I
guys
was
to
gonna
get in
ask
any
you.
But you
problems.
Yeah.
do have to
Like,
behave if you want to sleep in the front yard.
Oh my god. Oh no, I'm trying to decide that right now. Like, if we don't go back the same day, I could potentially go out and go to certain places I don't normally have out here because we'll be getting really late. But James is going to be drinking that night, so I really honestly don't know.
So you
Probably
should
just
not
get
be driving that night.
we probably just get a cheap motel that night with like two different rooms and just stay there and just
You
head out the
do
next
realize
day.
that's the day before Comic-Con starts. You think you're gonna find a fucking hotel room?
Yeah. That's why it probably may make sense to just like let its hangover pass, and we'll just we'll just chill at your house and just let the hangover pass and just go home when it's done. I can stay up all night. I'm off the next day. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care, honestly.
That doesn't mean that she has to, man. You were offered the front yard
No,
if
fuck
you
that.
behave.
In Vegas, she stayed up till like 3 a.m. and then she got up and came back at 7 o'clock in the night for the other one.
Young lady.
And I slept all day long.
Oh my god! Oh god! I got put in the pet zone.
Literally, you never camped out with a tent and sleeping bags and just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
had a fun night
Dude,
camping
she'll
out.
give you a water bowl.
No, I'm saying we can just talk.
Gray, you are not helping.
No, I'm saying we could just like talk and chill at your house until he's feeling better. I don't know if they're drinking. Well, it doesn't matter. They're not driving. It doesn't really matter what the fuck they're doing, honestly. Which is Lennon and Carla are gonna go. My ex and her sister. They were like, "Can we go?" I'm like, "Well, you got an RSVP," and she was like, "How do you do that?" And I was like, "I don't know. That's how you do it." So they got their tickets. So, but he's the one driving. So like, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I was trying to think like, do I want to stay out? Is there stuff I need to do out there? Like any comic shops to go to for anything? It's probably a good idea to do it. Honestly, there's comic shops to go out to, but they open at like 11, 10 o'clock. So it's just
Padres baseball game.
I think I'm sitting down in front of white people. What the
It was the
heck?
first day of Comic-Con.
I could meet a whole bunch of hot ladies there too.
There's not nearly as much costumes here as there are as New York Comic-Con, but there's a lot of cosplayers.
Did you hear that there are rumors today that they were trying to like potentially move, like not have it in San Diego anymore?
Oh well, the contract
Yeah.
with the convention center was
Uh-huh.
up, and they had to make a new contract. So there's a chance that it may not stay in San Diego going forward.
That's
And I'd be much more
crazy.
upset, except ever since COVID, the cons just aren't the same anymore.
Really? Oh, okay. How many times have you
In a lot
gone?
of ways, they're just
Have you ever went into the venue, or you bought for take tickets for
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
I've been
Never
to
got
the
it,
venue. I went to the venue in 2019, but
Oh, okay.
I have to say the one thing that San Diego Comic Con totally has over New York Comic Con is New York Comic Con is in October in New York City, and it's mostly rainy and or cold, and everything's in like it's gotten so big it's in like 6
Mhm.
different buildings, but nothing's outside. You have to have a pass for everything. Here it's July in San Diego, and it's beautiful and sunny and warm, so there's so much stuff going on outside of the convention, and you don't need a badge for any of it.
Yeah, like
But you just like literally just spending a couple hours walking around the gas lamp district.
Yeah, I remember
There's
you
lots
said you
of
did that. Yeah.
cosplayers, there's things to do, to try. All the restaurants and bars have specialty cocktails and foods based on geeky crap.
Mhm. Geeky crap. God, you're so mean. God, you're such a supremacist.
And there's the Comic-Con Museum in Balboa Park. There's exhibitions throughout that you don't need anything
Oh,
to
yeah.
go see. A couple years ago, there was a really cool thing. An antique store had this huge, really cool exhibition of it was supposedly
Wait a minute.
stuff from a museum of all stuff that had belonged to captains of the Enterprise, and it was done like it was a museum exhibit in this amazing little antique shop. It was really cool.
If we stay out, I'll have to come back. Either if I don't come back I'll have to come back the next day. Obviously, I have to work on Friday. I'll have to come back a little bit earlier. Probably nothing past like, I forgot. That's me on Thursday. Deadpool and Wolverine drops for me on Thursday, and I have to see it Thursday. So yeah, probably leave that same night. Honestly, we'll play it by ear when it happens. It's gonna be maybe about 9 days. Guys, Tiny's just trying to drag me over to her house. That's what she really wants. She's like, dude.
Alone, we can find a place for him.
He's not. He's coming with James.
Okay, then we'll find a way for them to camp out. We'll borrow a tent.
Don't worry, we'll probably leave the same night. He's a interesting white fella, you know.
You're not driving back if you're still drunk.
I'm not drinking. Oh Lord. Yeah, I'll be in Tiny's house. She's gonna take me out for dinner and then put me out in her front yard. Wouldn't that be a story to tell people? That'd be funny as hell, honestly. Who else is here? Darnell, what you got coming up? Wow.
D&D, Nate's D&D stream Saturday. Probably nothing the rest of the week. Just I'm trying to get some shit done around the house, and
Nice.
I'm actually making the music for Nate's game for the intro and outro. Probably gonna work on some stuff to give him for during the game as well, and then back here next week.
All right, Gray. I know you have your Leslie Headland video.
Yeah, so many acolyte
You're gonna
videos to
show
do.
the woke agenda propagandists how it's done, right?
Not exactly. I just think that one in particular is a bad argument. So let's just make good arguments. But yeah, aside from that, every Thursday I happen to be on the Thinkers on That Darn Kidda's channel. So YouTube, That Darn Kidda, every Thursday morning. You know, it's people from at least 3 different continents disagreeing about everything. I would be interested to hear, both a South African and weirdly European, perhaps Transylvanian take on, these recent American political events. It might be different from a different country. So, if you want to hear people disagree, but somewhat civilly, come by, check it out. Every once in a while, MSK is in the comments section, trying to soak up all the clout he can. But you can always check him out there.
Yeah, I'm usually here as a clout-sucking goblin, usually what I do, honestly. All right, so as you guys have seen, I did upload 2 videos today, one on the comic channel for Nick Phoenix's comic book Screecher. I did the review for Screecher number 2. That's out. I uploaded the Captain America 4 trailer reaction, and I was gonna title it trailer reaction and discussion because we mostly just do a discussion after and before the trailer, but I get so many characters, which is so fucking stupid. But yeah, I dropped those 2 videos today. I told people this before. I don't want to not upload consistently since I'm so damn busy doing the podcast, cutting the videos up, downloading, editing, all that stuff. It's a lot. I do enjoy doing it. So I'm gonna make sure I do it consistently more. I'm gonna get more videos done tonight. Obviously, it's just a lot to do, but we got to get it done. It just has to happen. You just got to make it happen. So Cloud9 podcast episodes going to Rumble if you do not want to watch them on YouTube. All the pre-recorded content that we are doing on the YouTube channels will be on Rumble. And the new episodes of the Iron Man podcast and Cloud9 podcast will be on podcasting platforms. So if you cannot have watched the show on any of the other places we do the show live, you can just listen and watch the show and hear Tiny yell at us all night.
Like I yell all night.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Walter. Appreciate it, bud.
And
Yes, thank you, Walter.
Thank
You're
you,
the man,
Walter. Thank you for promoting a Tiny, Yeah. I will beat her in followers one day. I gotta do this. All I gotta do is get half naked on Twitter.
Never gonna happen.
I swear, if I get half naked on
That
Twitter.
might hurt your odds.
What?
I'm gonna make 25 accounts if you do that, man.
All right, I was wrong. Perhaps it will help you.
If I ever show off my hot rod body, then a bunch of ladies will start following.
Are you saying you have a rod body?
Why aren't you ketchup? Whatever. God, man. God. See? That's cute. Like, who would want to look at that and hold that and pour that ketchup on some burger? Who wouldn't want to pour Gray's liquid on?
I think it's
Stop.
hilarious.
Stop. We're not going any farther.
You give someone like, hey, look, you want some ketchup? Here. They take it. Yeah, they use it. You give them the same bottle of ketchup, but it's purple. They're like, ew, gross.
Exactly.
It's
It's
just
so
a
weird.
fucking color, man.
Yep.
Like, I was at Walmart like fucking 9 years ago with my ex. The kids were getting groceries. I saw it was like purple and green Heinz ketchup. It was just somebody did
Yeah.
it change the color. I was like, boom, I get some purple ketchup. She's like, that's fucking disgusting. I'm like, really? It's fucking ketchup. It's just a different color.
Well, no, my question would be exactly what did they dye it with, and how much is that going to make my kids' mouths look that color?
I mean,
Probably
Yeah.
pretty bad. But hey, they might actually eat it. For MSK, that's like the only vegetables he gets.
He's not listening.
I kind of agree. Like, shit, if that gets my kids to eat some, that can get them to eat something with ketchup on it. Fucking right. Sorry.
No, I don't have a problem with it.
I wasn't listening, as she said.
Then how do you know I said you weren't listening?
We figured.
I can still hear you when I'm muted.
I know you can hear me when you're muted, but you wouldn't have heard me say he's not listening if you hadn't been listening.
Why are you doing this women games?
I see that look in your eye.
This isn't a woman's
the
game. This is a
detachment from
logic tree.
reality.
It's very, very straightforward.
I'm like the left. I have to make everything complicated. I need 3 paragraphs to know why things are as bad as they are.
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard for you to read those 3 paragraphs. But yeah, no, I get you.
But yeah, I talked to Gabe about the Big Man Comics thing because I ordered Dean Cain All American. I don't think I even got it, honestly. I think it got lost in the mail. I gotta talk to
have
you.
it.
I got this shirt. The shirt's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I got cover A, which is sold out. And it's fine. I'm just trying to ask him if he could potentially send me another one. I literally didn't get it. I looked through all my stuff. I did not get it. Probably I know he sent it because it said he sent it. Probably just got lost in the mail or some shit. Fucking
I
hell,
was trying to
man.
get in touch with someone at Rippaverse about my shirt.
Oh, it's this thing. Did you not use the help beacon? I'm pretty sure it's the help beacon on there, honestly.
What?
I
It's
have
the
no idea
customer
what you
Bad
said.
signal.
Oh,
on the website right here. Pretty sure this will lead you down that road. Hell yeah, I love
Okay.
being a laugh.
I just haven't even looked for
That's what content this got a lot of views. I would just react to Amaranth's try-on hauls, and those are really, really good. Those are great. Pretty a lot of people like that. I'm not doing that ever again. That was beyond cringe, but it did have some traction. Gotta go over here to help.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that. No, like I got the ISOM shirt. He's like doing like $8, but like
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah.
he's not up and down. Like it's like he's like this, like off to the side. It's like misprinted. So I just want to see. Hey, is this on purpose or?
I'll be buying Gooding this next week when I get paid. Yeah, I'll be buying Gooding then.
Well,
All
I
right.
got the meeting at the FNT meeting in Vegas, Iron actually won the All American, and
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I was like, damn it! I was the only thing I really wanted to win. I didn't care about like they had like PlayStations and shit, but you know me, I don't game, so I'm like, I don't care. I just want that comic book, and Iron got it, and I'm like, damn! And he turns around and goes, "Happy birthday," because that was my actual birthday.
Woo!
So that's how I got it.
That's
She's
awesome.
been talking about. I gave her stuff too, but
yes,
it's
you
fine.
did,
No,
and I
you
had
didn't.
thanked you multiple times. Seriously, like it's like he only hears a quarter of what I say, and only the bad.
What?
I don't think he even hears that. He's very selective on what he hears.
I didn't give her anything, guys. I'm just a pleb.
We know.
Shit.
We know.
I gave her glaucoma. That's what I gave her. I'm just kidding.
You gave me ice. I'm number
know if
one.
you
Also, when I give you that Invincible trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That-
nice.
Yeah. Because I accidentally ordered an extra one, but then I realized to myself, I'm just gonna get them in hardcovers. That way, it just collects bigger chunks of the story all at once.
You
Getting
need to
trades
read
is
too,
cool.
man.
Yeah. Getting trades
Yeah,
is
Nate,
cool. and
we're
all,
still
but if I can
going.
get- if I can get
MSK said
hardcovers,
there were no
good.
topics for tonight, so he's just going to keep going forever.
So, thank you guys
24 hour
for
stream.
24 hours. TV mouth screws. What? Oh my god.
It's what you could possibly give someone.
That
Hey,
sounds
Nate.
kind of. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Iron Man podcast. Tomorrow should have 2 Iron Man podcast episodes, actually. And around 7 something, 9 something. We have Wednesday Top G's with me, Professor Savage Dad. And then I have a one-on-one before that. I might play League, depending on how I feel after getting off work. Thank you guys for your continued support. Subscribe if you're a returning viewer or a new viewer and you haven't yet. Like this episode of the Iron Man podcast. Comment down below. Hit the notification bell. We'll see you guys later. Have a great night, buddy.